In an Adam 215-263 WMMR. And we're going to Tristan. Hi, Tristan.
Hi.
All right, Tristan. So the atomic number represents the number of what in its atom?
The number of protons.
You are correct, Tristan. Yes. Hang on, buddy. We're going to set you up with a pair of sweet tickets to join Mr. Brent Porsche as NASCAR returns to the Dover Motor Speedway on May 1st with the Duramax Dryden 400. And you get tickets at doverspeedway.com. All right, we're going to start with this messed up story, man. Martha Stewart is mourning the loss of her cat, Princess Peony, who was tragically killed by Stewart's 4 dogs recently.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Imagine that. One of your pets kills your other pet.
I had a friend of mine years ago had a cat for like a year, and they had a dog, and the dog was either, Kathy, like your situation where the animal gets spooked in a weird way and attacked the cat and killed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That seems to be probably what happened here. So she posted a photo of Princess Peony's burial on Instagram on Sunday. And she wrote, burying the beautiful and unusual Princess Peony, the 4 dogs mistook her for an interloper and killed her defenseless little self.
Oh, my God, that's awful.
I know, right? She writes, I will miss her very badly, R.I.P. Beauty. She had celebrated her 12th birthday last year. In a follow-up post, Stewart shared a photo of the beloved cat. And it is reported that Stewart's cats were not very comfortable around her dogs even before this happened. In August 2021, she posted on social media, my cats feel liberated because the 4 dogs are away on vacation, leaving the cats alone in the house to roam, relax, and recover.
So she let the dogs go off on vacation by themselves?
Maybe that was it. Yeah, they needed some time
Cancun
away.
or something? Yeah.
Sow their wild oats, get it out of their system.
Go nail some bitches, you know what I'm saying? That's what you call female dogs.
That's right. Yeah. Go nail some bitches.
She just sold her Hampton house, and she opened up a little bit. She was showing the inside of it. Finally, you can see how it's decorated. The pictures were I was so disappointed in the pictures. Yeah, they weren't that
underwhelming.
It was like clothes hanging on the
no.
exercise equipment.
No, it just didn't show much. I wanted to see the house. I wanted, supposedly she has this beautiful pool and she's by the water, and it didn't. It showed an entryway. And I was really great. That table is awesome.
Imagine if that's your whole thing. So you are design, you are crafts, you are the epitome of what a home should look like. The stress that must accompany any photo shoot that shows your home.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's like a bookcase with 2x4s and cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Right.
Jaffa blocks.
Right. All right. In an appearance on a podcast released on Monday, accepted actor Justin Long was bursting at the seams to talk about the one and finding the one. He said... he told the former Bachelor Nick Viall, I guess is the person's name, I had gotten to a place where I was comfortable with myself, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was ready for the one. And the one I met and I found, he said. Now, he didn't name any names, but last week...
It's got to be Neo, right?
No, he... and Blue Crush actress Kate Bosworth were spotted in a car together in Los Angeles, and since then, they've also been photographed holding hands.
I love you.
So good for him. Yeah, and he's telling The Bachelor about all this. Former Bachelor Nick Viall on the Viall Files podcast.
Cannot wait to hear the Viall Files.
I guess that's how you pronounce it,
Yeah.
Viall. He said,
At this point, does it matter?
He said, I want to talk about it, but I also want to be protective. I want to scream it from the rooftops.
Okay.
But I also want to be protective. It's sacred.
This photo seems to verify what you're saying, right? We're looking at Kate Bosworth and Justin Long holding hands.
I've not seen Kate Bosworth in a while. She was kind of on the rise.
Yes.
Blue Crush.
Right.
Tad
Hamilton.
Was her big, leading role breakout.
Yeah.
And kind of didn't really ever take off big, but I'm sure she's still working.
She was in that Superman Returns. Remember she played Lois Lane.
It's funny because you said her name. I was like, oh, yeah, I just saw her. As if it was a current movie, but... It was that movie called 21 about all those MIT people who were, blackjack card counters. That thing came out 12, 15 years ago.
Superman came out and the same thing, a dozen years ago.
But you see it
I saw her in the Battleship Potemkin.
Yeah, you see it on Netflix. It's this is brand new.
Yeah.
Everything is new again.
Well, 2 years after her breakup with former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler, Laguna Beach star Kristen Cavallari said that she's finally ready for another relationship.
Has she found the one?
She posted some picture. Is she
Yes.
saying she's dating someone?
In an Instagram Q&A over the weekend, she told fans she needed to take time to work through some heavy stuff.
Yeah, but now she's good, right?
She said, I dated a little here and there, but no one's serious.
I had 3 testicles.
I'm finally in a place where I'm ready for a relationship. When asked if she would get married again, she said yes, adding, I still very much believe in marriage. And I've had tremendous growth over the past 2 years. So I'll be entering a new relationship as a different person, which really excites me.
I was intrigued by what she said. She's looking for a man with detachable jam.
Oh,
Yeah.
jam.
Oh, my
That would
God.
be, we know a guy. Cavallari advised her followers to take the time to work through it, allowing yourself to feel all the emotions. After ending a toxic relationship, she added, it literally took me 2 years to fully heal.
When did it become toxic?
Here we go, Kathy. On Monday, TMZ shared photos of Cavallari kissing former Bachelorette star Tyler Cameron during a photo shoot for her lifestyle brand Uncommon James. It's unclear whether this was just for the photo shoot or if something more could be brewing there. Now,
Tyler
this isn't
Cameron-
what you were talking about, though, was it?
Yes, this
Oh,
is
it
the
is?
photo I was
Tyler
talking about.
Cameron?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy has the intellect of a can of Crisco. He's unbelievably dumb.
So I think this
but
is
he is
an
a
ad.
male model.
I think this is an ad. then.
Okay, got it.
I don't think this is an actual romance.
Got it.
Britney.
Because there was no, sorry, she just posted the picture
With no context?
no explanation whatsoever.
Britney Spears confirmed Monday she is writing a book. Weeks after reports first circulated that she had a multi-million-dollar deal to write a tell-all memoir.
She's another one. I
know.
with the Instagram post. So the way she well, I guess this is how she announced it. What she put it on her Instagram, but she put it in a screenshot. It was like a novel written in a screenshot announcing that she's writing a book. Like it just everything she does is weird.
It's a little, some of it is a little bizarre. And a lot of her videos are just, kind of like make you reconsider that conservatorship.
So to 100%. Like I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe was the dad right?
Yeah, I expect that first manuscript to be submitted in crayon.
Spears revealed the news to her Instagram followers after some appeared to express confusion about why she was discussing her past and recent photos. Later, Monday evening, the post was unavailable and appeared to have been deleted. She had written, well, I'm writing a book at the moment, and as it's actually healing and therapeutic, it's also hard bringing up past events in my life.
Well, she's going to name names in this because you mentioned yesterday about her feud with her sister and also her mother, the original culprit was supposed to be the dad. But since she's been talking and free to talk, she says the mother was the real architect of everything that happened to her.
Spears says that she's taking the time to address moments that she hadn't expressed her thoughts about openly, adding that she wasn't comfortable having such conversations in the past. She said, but it's time to talk about it. This is according to what she said on Monday. But why do I say this? Well, because I never felt heard ever. She said, I was screaming inside, and no matter what I said, it was always looked down on. So
She's become accustomed to this. Sorry, Preston.
That's right.
And it feels like way too much percentage of her life is lived within Instagram, right?
Yeah,
within these walls. And I know a lot of it was sort of like she was kind of locked into where she was. I mean, like she couldn't really go a whole lot of places. And then so she became really accustomed to being on Instagram all the time. But even in the story, Preston, like you're talking about something that she wrote and then she posted it and then she deleted. So there must have been some kind of feedback where it was like, no, I can't keep this up any longer. It's a bizarre way to live your life.
Well, that's a perfect segue into this next story about Selena Gomez, who says that not going on social media makes her feel normal.
Yeah.
The Only Murders in the Building star has not been on the internet for 4.5 years and believes that this is great for her mental well-being. Now, she has over 300 million followers.
There are
and
what?
she hasn't been on in 4.5 years.
332 million people in the country, and she has 300 million followers, 309, I think it is.
310 million is what it's up to now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess there are people who submit that she lets them sort of curate and submit things periodically on her site, but she does not go on herself.
What are the most recent posts on there, Nick?
There was
Are
one
there
yesterday.
dates? Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
somebody else is doing it.
Yeah.
The 29-year-old actress told Good Morning America on Monday, I haven't been on the internet in 4.5 years. It has changed my life completely. I am happier. I am more present. I connect more with people.
I believe it.
It makes me feel more normal.
What does she do when she's waiting for something, right? Like when you're in line, what do you do?
What I would say? I was the other day. Where was I? I was waiting somewhere. I was in a waiting room sitting, and I looked around, and a couple of the other people that were there did not have a smartphone with them. And you know what they did, Casey? They did this weird thing. They picked up a magazine. They started flipping through it. They started looking around the room, and it started reminding me about what I would do when I would wait. And it's actually a little better, man. Sometimes just kind of collecting your thoughts and...
if you have earbuds, listen to music or something, or do those things you used to do.
That's connected to the internet.
But or listen, if you have what if you have MP3 files recorded on your device? Yeah, no, I do think that's probably a good cleanse to do, and she shows no signs of stopping.
How do you feel about it? Because I think you're the most
addicted.
Yeah, addicted amongst our group.
Well, I mean, I'm jealous of her. I'm jealous. So she has the freedom to be able to do that. I don't have that freedom, right? Like
your job also demands that you're.
If I gave up the internet, then I don't have the job that I have, right? But like she is a filthy rich, tons of money. She's a superstar. She has all those people doing all those things for her. So that's nice and that's great, and I'm really happy for her.
How much of your online time is voluntary as opposed to work based?
I would probably say like 60-40. Because I mean it's I'll be on some sort of social media and I'll scroll, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored of that, and then I'll go to like email, and then I'll scroll through my email. Yeah. All right, I'm bored of that, and then I'll go to a different social media thing, and I'll go I haven't played Words of Friends in a long time.
Wordle.
But that's only one time.
Yeah,
but like
I see more of the social media thing being the stigma because of the feedback that's there. You know what I mean? As up to playing a game, reading news stories, things like that. I don't know.
I forget who I said, who I heard say it. I've heard many people say it. It's so true. The world is not Twitter. It's not the percentage of people who are actually actively using social media as opposed to the general population.
And I don't take too deep of a dive on that stuff. Like I find myself, if I start to scroll a little bit too much or start to like feel a certain, I'm like, this does not deserve any more of my time.
What I've been able to do is I've been able to curate and remove a lot of that stuff. I am solely Jerkmates, Case.
And that's great,
I've never heard of Jerkmates.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
I think part of the problem, the inherent problem with Twitter and Instagram and social media is that there really is no beginning or end, right? You dive in.
You're right.
If you read an article, there's a beginning and a middle and an end to that article. And then you can put that article aside. You pick up a magazine, you can read the magazine and put it down. With Instagram, there's no end ever.
Well, who's the comedian who said, okay, I finished reading the internet?
Right.
I have a story, and if we have time to get to it, if we're going to do a variety of stories, it was really interesting about the people that quite literally, have the keys to the internet.
Oh.
It's something that you didn't know existed.
Oh.
And there's a special ceremony around it, too.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I want to find out.
It's pretty wild,
All right.
So if I get a chance, I'll try and...
It's run through Jerkmates, right?
Okay.
Never heard of them.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
All right, so anyhow, Selena Gomez. Where did that go?
You said yeah.
Oh. Yeah. All right, so Selena Gomez told Good Morning America on Monday, I haven't been on the internet in 4.5 years. It's changed my life completely. She said that she attributes growing up in the spotlight on shows like Wizards of Waverly Place is teaching her about the dangers of social media and the rest of the World Wide Web. She said, growing up in the spotlight has definitely taught me so much. I can't believe that I'm where I am mentally just because of how I took the necessary steps in order to kind of remove myself from that because it's just not normal, she says. And she was diagnosed with lupus. She also had bipolar disorder and all this stuff.
Did she have an organ transplant?
She had a kidney transplant.
From one of her buds. And
she's kind of seeing that it's better for her to just...
I commend her.
Yeah. All right. A couple other things. Kanye West reportedly told Kim Kardashian recently that he was going away to get help in an effort to stop harassing her and Pete Davidson. The source told Entertainment Tonight for the sake of their kids, Kanye told Kim he's not making any public appearances or inflammatory social media statements, and he will go away somewhere to get better. By the way, he canceled Coachella. Not officially. There's been no official word from his camp or the Coachella people. I was just looking it up this morning. But the word is he's out.
Do you know where he is right now? He's on Mars with Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, my God. Just taking a break.
Just taking a break.
Yeah. There's all kinds of crazy things happening here. One of the West reps told the publication this time he is committed to a healthy co-parenting relationship with Kim and is focused on raising their beautiful children.
Well, that's healthier.
Speaking of Kim and Pete, Kim, they seem to be taking their relationship to another level. Davidson reportedly introduced Kim to his grandparents.
These are my grandparents.
TMZ, Nanny, Grampy. TMZ.
Why are they frozen and in your broom closet?
He doesn't stand for baloney.
Thank you. TMZ reports.
And Annie, my grandpa.
Kim Kardashian that Kim visited Davidson while he was filming a movie on Staten Island. Since the set was closed to where Davidson's grandparents lived, the pair reportedly stopped by for a visit after he finished filming one day. And he has also been spending more time with Kim's inner circle, including Scott Disick.
Oh, I hate that guy.
On Sunday, Disick posted a video of Davidson driving the pink Moke car Kris Jenner got Kardashian for Christmas. I'm not familiar.
I believe it's what they tool around on their Kardashian compound in. It's basically a golf cart.
Okay.
Done up with pink. And so, Disick is basically like a herpes sore. That goes away and comes back. There's nothing beneficial cosmetically or anything else. There, Preston, a picture of it is up on the screen here.
A Moke.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that.
Here's the deal. I think of all of those people, Scott Disick is he looks like, and this I've never met the guy.
Yeah.
He looks like the guy who is just an a-hole to everybody, like the person that serves him at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean?
Like a douche. Yeah.
And
he's
so
a quintessential douche.
I could be completely wrong about him. He could be the sweetest guy, and
he could be Mahatma Gandhi.
Right?
Yeah.
But to me, he just comes off as somebody who just doesn't treat the everyday average person with any ounce of respect, and. I'm completely and totally judging the book by the cover, but don't like that guy.
Got you, man.
Simple as that.
I agree.
All right, just a couple more quick things. I have a lot we could get to, but we don't have all the time. Following a 13-year feud, today reports that Lee Daniels apologized to Monique for a dispute they had while working together on Precious. At her Monique and Friends April Fool's Day with the Queen of Comedy show, Daniels got up on stage and said, "I am so sorry for hurting you in any way that I did."
I watched the exchange. It seemed pretty legit.
He said, "Y'all, she was my best friend. My best friend. Aww. Y'all think that Precious was just, that was," and I'm putting in the pauses here, "that was God working through both of us, and we're going to effing do it again." Monique later posted a photo of the pair together, writing, "No caption needed. I love you. I love us for real."
I love you. Remember we had Monique in the studio years ago?
We had him in studio, too.
Yeah.
Lee Daniels.
When did Precious come out? How long ago?
From a book by Sapphire?
2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
13 years later.
All right, and then one last story. Harrison Ford has signed on opposite Jason Segel in the Apple comedy series Shrinking. The show was first announced in October 2021. Segel will write the series alongside Ted Lasso co-creator Bill Lawrence and Ted Lasso star and writer and co-executive producer Brett Goldstein.
Is this based? For Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Yep.
So, is this based on that movie? Was that Matt Damon movie where?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
To me, this seems more like psychology.
It is.
Okay.
That's what it's about. So Shrinking follows Jimmy, who is Jason Segel, a grieving therapist who starts to break the rules and tell his clients exactly what he thinks. Ignoring his training and ethics, he finds himself making huge, tumultuous changes to people's lives, including his own. And Ford will play a guy named Dr. Phil Rhodes, described as a down-to-earth, sharp-as-a-tack blue-collar shrink, blunt, but with an ever-present twinkle. Phil is a pioneer in cognitive behavioral therapy and has built a successful practice over the years that he shares with his two younger proteges, Jimmy and Gabby. Fiercely independent, Phil has recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's, which forces him out of his comfort zone as he grapples with intrusive friends, his estranged family, and his legacy. And this will be his first ever television starring role for Harrison Ford. Yeah.
Did you watch any of that Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd?
I watched the first episode
I
and
didn't like it.
I didn't buy
really?
it. And Nick, you had
Yeah,
said,
I loved it. I watched the whole thing beginning and end. It's dark and it's weird, Steve, and it takes some odd twists.
I tapped out after the first.
I mean, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. But it took an episode or two for me to really get into it. And then once I did, I couldn't wait to see how it wrapped up. It's based on a true story. And Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell played very different characters than they normally do. It's not Anchorman 3, so, but I enjoyed it very much.
All right, we're ready to roll the clips. We start with this one. Based on the iconic book series The Hardy Boys, it follows brothers Joe and Frank as they uncover clues about their mother's death. And in this clip, Alexander Elliott shares what it was like to be on the set.
There is a bit of pressure involved. You kind of freak out a little bit, but once you get into it, once they call action, you're just lost in the world. You're given these fantastic scripts, this crazy world that they've built, all these cool locations that I've been to.
Shut the f*** up! Season 2 of The Hardy Boys premieres tomorrow on Hulu. Here's the next one. The Croods family tree.
Wow.
Follows two very different families as they join forces to create a caveman co-op community.
Is this technically Croods 4?
In this clip, I don't know. I thought maybe it was 3, but
right.
I don't remember.
I think 3.
In this clip, Uga Crude actor Amy Landecker shares why she is excited for this series.
There's a lot of action. There's a lot of adventure. There's riding the bulrusses, hanging out with the punch monkeys. So that was probably one of my favorite parts, was feeling like I was not just in a comedy, but I was also in an action movie.
Thing sucks. All right, and season 2 of The Croods Family Tree appears
it's a series
today on Hulu. So there you go.
It's not a movie.
And Nick Cage is not in it, just to kind of give you an indication of how bad it must be.
Well, I don't think any of the actors from the movies are.
But I did watch.
How can they do that? Like when they have 2 movies already, and then like they did it with Shrek too. Like how are they able to make the next movie in the series, and it's not any of the people?
How to Train Your Dragon ended up on TV, and they used some of the voice actors for that in the TV series, but not all of them.
I think Jay Baruchel was part of the series.
I think you're right, yeah.
But the most recent Transylvania.
Adam Sandler's not in it.
Adam Sandler's not even in it. He's the main character.
I don't understand.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, that is all I have in music news for you this morning. So we're going to take a break. Not music news. What the hell am I talking about? Entertainment report this morning. God, I wish we were music
Selena
news.
Gomez is a singing artist.
I'm going home in 5 minutes.
All right. We have a few things going on Tattoosday. Chance for you to President Steve Tattoo. Text word tattoo to 39333. We are going to have Alex freaking Lifeson of the band Rush on our show this morning. One of my heroes will be joining us, and he's got a new band called Envy of None. So we're going to do him and his bass player, Andy. We also are going to have Show and Tell on the President Steve Show. A few of us on the members of the program have brought in items to show and tell about, just like you did back in kindergarten.
And we'll ask questions.
And you will be able to view this on YouTube if you stream us online, all right? So keep that in mind. We'll get to it a little bit later on. We'll take a break. Be back in a sec. Oh, and don't forget, MMR's concert cash. We have a chance to win $500 and MMRBQ tickets starting at 8 o'clock, so hang in there. Kate Middleton and Prince William are opening up about their family life and what it's like behind palace walls.
We enjoy swinging.
The pair joined baking guru Mary Berry for a Berry Royal Christmas.
I love her.
On the BBC.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Sharing his perspective on how he has been talking to his kids about the causes they champion. William noted that when he drives Prince George and Princess Charlotte to school, they point out homeless people and ask questions.
Daddy, run over them. They frighten me. Will do.
He said, on the school run, I know it sounds a little bit...
I killed that one.
Got one.
Keep score back there. Do you all have a pad and paper and pencils and such? 1-1.
Yeah, 2 that time. William also highlighted his late mother, Princess Diana's work, and credited her with opening his and brother Harry's eyes. And he said that a visit to the Passage Homeless Charity was one of the first places I came to, actually. It must have been between 8 and 10 years old, something like that, and it had a profound effect on me. He said, my mother knew what she was doing with it. She realized that it was very important when you grow up, especially in the life that we grew up in, that you realize that life happens beyond palace walls and that you see the real people struggling with real issues.
And this is the cake woman they're talking to?
This is the cake woman.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me all this time?
Yeah. Mary Berry. And
I simply asked, how are you doing?
The special aired yesterday on the BBC, by the way.
There was a throwaway line that made a lot of press. I guess it was in the Daily Mail. She said to Kate Middleton, basically something like, would you like to squirt on the cake?
Oh, geez.
And so there was actually isolation. They thought that was rather amusing. Why don't you lift up your skirt, hop up on the table, and squirt on the cake? Squirt. You know, like they do in pornographic films.
Royal jelly.
Royal jelly. Wow, you're like a geyser.
Okay. Kevin Costner has set a new drama at ABC. ISB will tell the story of elite special agents of the Investigative Services Branch, whose job it is to solve the most complex and heinous crimes committed in national parks in the Pacific West region.
ISB?
ISB. He is going to produce and write this. It's a procedural. Former The Flash showrunner Aaron Helberg and Costner will co-write and executive produce. And Helbing will also be, act as the showrunner. I don't think he's planning on acting.
He's producing
in the whole thing.
He's also producing a series for NBC called DVDA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which and it's another division, Preston.
I guess that is.
There's 2 openings in that particular division.
Jesus.
Well, and there's 2 different divisions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So 4 openings total.
Yeah.
No, 2 openings,
just 2
4
openings.
positions.
Wow. I'm with DVDA. Any openings there are 2.
You guys are talking about the Delaware Valley Dance Academy, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
4
right.
positions.
4 positions for 2 openings.
Right.
I needed
Look up
that.
DVDA.
I needed that.
Or don't.
Yeah. Or don't.
No, or just watch Blue Waffle.
Or you could just know what that
Go
is.
about the rest of your day without doing that.
Did you guys see the updated E.T. commercial that's
I
on?
did.
It's great. I love it.
It is
Steven
cool.
Spielberg directed it.
Did he?
That's what
I was wondering because
that's what I read.
I'm like, you can't tread on Steven Spielberg's territory.
Yeah. Well, Henry Thomas, who played Elliot, allegedly tampered with his sobriety test during a DWI stop. According to a police report obtained by TMZ, he refused a breathalyzer during a stop in Oregon. He was reportedly taken to a station and put in a holding cell. And when a urine sample was taken, the report claims he filled it with toilet water.
The oldest trick in the book. E.T. taught him that.
He denies the claim.
If you're ever arrested for drinking, take your urine specimen and mix it with toilet water.
He denies the claim. Last month, the 48-year-old pleaded no contest to driving under the influence. He was given a $500 fine. I was also told to attend a victim impact panel and install a car breathalyzer.
Here, I'll piss in a cup for you.
Oh my God!
There are no minerals in this urine that are not even on Earth anywhere.
It's purple.
It looks like the purple stuff. You know, you drink instead of Sunny Delight.
Breaking news.
Really?
What's up?
Marissa was just telling me you sent it over. Okay. We heard rumblings about this, I guess, Monday, that Pearl Jam is going to have new music out?
Oh, yeah. Bill mentioned something to us about that.
Okay. We have a clip of the song Marissa just sent over.
Oh.
And she's going to get you some information on the album. What's the name of the song, Marissa?
I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She does not. What is it?
It's called Four Corners.
Four Corners.
Four Corners. Just a clip of the song. You want to
So
play?
it's ready to go now?
Yeah.
Did you finish the endorsement or the?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yeah. So limited time offer was the last part of that.
All right.
New music, Pearl Jam. Just a clip of it.
We got like 40
Very cool.
seconds.
All right, here we go. Let's check this out.
Hook, line, and sinker.
As soon as the vocals started hitting,
shoot. No.
Head popped up.
But it was believable vocals. The first line of the vocals. I was like, well, Casey's going to make fun of this. What's the guitar?
It's actually Mike McCready.
Mike McCready. Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But you can play now. Both you can play.
Not this.
Hey there, Nick. Nick McAway.
That's awesome.
Hey, Nick McAway. I got you.
You know how some songs speak to you more than others?
Yeah. I think this one hits you where you live.
This one speaks to me.
That speaks directly to you.
Directly
Yeah.
I mean, it's for crying out
Gets
loud.
me in all the feels, man.
Casey was so excited.
Oh,
he played that for me yesterday.
I was even more excited last night when Nick tweeted out you had answered somebody's tweet about Pearl Jam coming out with new music this week. I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect.
Well, there's and I saw that you liked that tweet, by the way. There's a
Now we know why he liked that tweet.
There's a Pearl Jam account in Italy that actually helps break some Pearl Jam news around the world or whatever. And
Pearl Jamma.
No, it's Pearl Jam Online Italia. And we've been talking about possible new Pearl Jam music all week because we heard from Bill Weston that there might be some.
And that's not it.
And, well, no, clearly. But the more we talk about it and the less that actual Pearl Jam music shows up, the more nervous I am about actually talking about it on air because it's just been rumors thus far. You know, we haven't actually had any. So then you got me today.
Nick McAway.
Could you imagine? Because he was certainly impressed with MMR and the whole thing, and you know the reference. If at some point some reference in some way pertaining to you, Nick, ended up in a song,
Right,
whether it be not by name or a reference or something.
Just
or
call it a day at that point. I just retire if that ever happened.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. So that's your breaking news.
Breaking news.
Music news this morning. Brand new Pearl Jam. No, the rumor is actually that there is new music from the band that's supposed to surface.
Supposedly?
Supposedly. I ask you. I guess this week, but whether that comes to pass or not, remains to be seen. So we will see. And yes, we got a lot of people texting that you got them as well.
Nice.
Some phone calls coming in too. So please welcome Mr. Frank Caliendo to the show.
What a great entrance. I walked in and I met old friends from the hallway.
Wow.
It was somebody from another station down the hall was like, wait a second, are you Frank Caliendo? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. And then he walked away and didn't let me in. And then I'm just standing there with these other guys, and which we became great
seriously?
friends. No, yeah. And
sometimes you just know.
And then, and then I was like, "You're not going to just let me in?" I would have left these guys here in a heartbeat. I have no problem with that. And they're like, "We would have done it too." They're like, "You're just stuck here with these two creepy guys." I'm like, "You have no idea what my life is like. You're zero on the creepy meter. Your creepy meter doesn't even come close to get." They were very nice.
I feel like it's gotten to a point where we should just give you a key fob so you can get in.
I would take it. I have stations where I have that.
You do have the key fob accessibility?
Yeah, I've had that and entry codes like in Arizona.
You know, but now here you have construction going on, so you'd be at actual
I also have a
physical
key.
peril.
I have a key to a crane.
You do? They gave you a key?
How do you think I got in?
Oh my God!
I didn't take a door. I was dropped in.
It's wild when you come up here, so a lot of people don't know they're actually going to add an atrium onto the building that's going to go up 4 floors. It'll be right outside our window here. So they're actually digging up the whole front of the building. And so we haven't heard it as of yet. But
Nick let me know in advance.
Did you walk over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? I think I Ubered from across the street?
I wouldn't put it past you.
How lazy do you know that I am?
But it's, I mean, your hotel's literally a block away.
Let's just tell everybody where I'm staying. That's great.
Room 472.
Then you want to see some creepy factor, guys? I want to tell you guys because I was so excited this weekend. I shouldn't say no. I hadn't been to one of these in a while. It was a comic convention kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. You're a comic book nerd.
I like comic books. I'm getting into them. I'm getting back into them. I liked them when I was a kid. I'm more into the stuff that my daughter's into. Barbies, My Little Pony. No,
You're into that?
more just looking for a joke.
It just
looking for a
got
laugh.
creepy again.
Yes, no problem. I like to comb their hair. My Little Pony.
You know what they call? They call those bronies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Is there such a thing? I'll get into it. I got no problem.
it's a legitimate fetish. They're called bronies.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. So, hey Jerry, what I was going to do there was going to get real creepy. So this one was called Ace Con, all right, and what they
Arizona?
No, it's a national thing.
Okay.
I think they might do one in Philadelphia too eventually, but they go all over. And they do major celebrities from the movies.
Yeah.
So Tom Hiddleston was at this one, who was cool. Loki.
Yeah, we love Hiddleston. Yeah.
Oh, and he's nicer in person than he is as Loki. First of all, but he's so nice. But he comes up. I don't know if they. I can never tell this because he was so smooth and so incredible and so British. That he comes over and he knew who I was. And that was one of those moments I'm like, well, this is pretty awesome because my daughter's like, huh?
Well, he's an impressionist as well.
Oh, he was
so
great.
he's got to know your stuff.
Very, very good. Yeah. He comes over and he's talking about, but he has the one up. Like he's friends with Jeff Goldblum, so he's talking about Jeff Goldblum. Yes, he's doing this. He's like, he'll come over and he'll be like, how are you? Good. You look great, Tom. You really do. And that's when you meet people, too, it's like that. So we're going back and forth. Me and Hiddleston. Tommy, as I like to call him. Tommy and I are going back and forth doing Jeff Goldblum. We're doing some Pacino and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, he does more of the Scarface kind. But so we're doing that, and my daughter's
talking about stuff
thinking this is the greatest thing in the world.
We'll stop and go, well, maybe we ought to crack the mics and continue this conversation, see where this goes. So Kathy had brought up a story in the news earlier that the Ballpark, Citizens Bank Park, has announced a few additions to its food lineup, which is always kind of cool when something new comes in.
I dig it.
Yeah. And you've got your staples that have been there for a while, and every now and then some slots open up and they put some stuff in. So one of the things that you announced was Mako's.
Manco.
I'm sorry, Manco, because there was Mac and Manco's. Casey had. I'm not well versed in shore pizza,
Right.
And also, I mean,
apparently it's the stuff of legend.
Yeah, you're a Wildwood Crest guy. So Mac and Manco was an Ocean City thing. Now it's Manco and Manco, but Max is a Wildwood thing, and Max is the Mac of Mac and Manco.
But Mac and Manco split up.
They split up
a few years ago, right?
So they're no longer partners, but the pizzas are the same thing.
The exact same pizza?
Yeah.
So same recipe.
So, and then in the design of the pizza, at least like the article in the Inquirer, Kathy, you were talking about it as well. They have, is it sort of a concentric circle of tomato sauce?
Swirl of sauce.
Yeah. And they got this cool little thing, Kat, that I always love it. The sauce applicator is just a tube.
Yeah.
And they've got it like hooked up. Well, it's just a tube, but like, a lot of times you'll see them pick up a ladle and they'll spread the sauce. No, this thing, it's a hose.
Marissa.
And they're like, blah, 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 and they...
Yeah, in case they're going to have the hose
Isolate
at the
that, by the way.
When you walk by it at the ballpark, they're going to have the hose in the ceiling.
Oh, the hose is coming out from the ceiling because down the shore, the hose is coming out from behind it, like underneath a counter.
there you go.
It's like,
I wonder if every now and then, like an air bubble gets in there and you get a
I'm sure you do.
Splat all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, this is the staple on the Ocean City boardwalk. The line is always, down the street or down the boardwalk. You can walk up right outside, grab a slice. You can, I think there's some seats, inside you can sit if you want. But, I mean, it's...
Ocean City was your shore town, right?
No, Sea Isle. But I have a good friend at Ocean City, so I spend a lot of time there with her. And, yeah, this is, I mean, like...
That was my shore town.
This is where we would go for pizza. I mean, it's good. Like, I like it. I like this pizza.
I've heard everybody rave about it. So just to understand the lineage here, it was Mac and Manco?
Mac and Manco.
Manco. And then what happened is that it's now Manco and Manco.
Right.
Because when they had their feud, Mac went off as a separate thing.
Max was already there, though.
I think Max was already there. I think Max might actually outdate Mac and Manco.
And selling essentially the same very high quality pizza.
But I don't know about the. And by the way, I never call it Manco, and I will never call it.
What do you call it?
I call it Mac and Manco.
Oh.
Because that's, for me, that's what it was, and it's what but I don't know about the feud. I have no idea if there was a feud.
It was a 55-year partnership that they ended.
Wasn't there a fire?
55 years.
Wasn't there a fire involved at some point?
I think there was, Nick, a couple years ago.
Well, the most recent fire was at the the
Pirates
arcade.
Castaway Cove.
Yeah,
Why didn't
Castaway
they use
Cove.
the tomato hose to put it out?
Right. But on Ocean City's boardwalk, there's at least 3, maybe 4 Mac and Mancos. And so there's one at like 13th. But I don't know. I don't know if any of them actually caught fire. I have no idea.
We're going to find. We're going to do some research.
55-year relationship. That's a couple of generations, probably.
sure
right?
is.
Wow,
Easily.
man.
Mike,
I haven't had it. I need to. Casey, you kind of sold me on it because you told me it was a thinner crust, a thinner, crispy crust.
But you haven't had Max?
That's what I want.
You haven't had Max yet?
No.
Oh.
He just said no.
Well, no. Well, then I failed you. I failed you, Preston.
No. We've spent a lot of time around Maury's Pier, and I've been eating a lot there. Like at
well, in Wildwood,
Curly's and stuff.
he's like Alfred at the end of the Dark Knight Returns.
I did. So in Wildwood, the 2 big names are Max and Sam's. My wife loves Sam's. I like Max. But you should. I want to for you. And we need to do a side-by-side taste test.
Yeah.
You need to not know what you're having.
Well,
first.
double blind
taste
man.
test.
To hit one of the big points here, as you were saying, or at least before we came on. So this is a massive coup for the ballpark, right? Because that's the only place.
That's what I said.
You can only get it down at the shore.
So down the shore, and then Mac and Manco, they had one shop in Summers Point.
Right.
There was like a little strip mall that they had. I don't know if that's there anymore.
It is.
But for me, like, yes, this is absolute coup. I don't know who this is a coup for. Would you say it's a coup for Mac and Manco, or do you
for
think
them definitely,
or for the ballpark?
For raising the bar?
Yeah,
you get this huge captive audience there several times. However many home games there are, and dude, it's going to do insane business.
So
yes, of course. I mean, because like our friend Giuseppe at Lorenzo's, when that got in at Wells Fargo Center, it's like boom, dude.
Are they out of there now?
I don't know. I haven't been in Wells Fargo in a while.
Wells Fargo, I think, stole the idea, and I don't want to say stole. They liked the idea so much that they did it themselves. So now there's a pizza place there. It's called like Cuz's, and it's a giant slice of pie, just like Lorenzo's was.
Man, you can't do that. I'm sorry. I love those guys, but come on, man.
Marissa?
So, Preston, I grew up in Ocean City. Mac and Manco's was like my life. It is so good that the past few years, it hasn't settled with my stomach well.
You still eat it anyway.
And I eat it anyway.
Okay.
So I have to have one slice a summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, just one slice?
Well, and then I'll do a white slice.
Yeah.
And it's that good, huh? Is it that good while you're eating it there, or if you were, you know what I mean?
That's the question.
Part of the environment.
It's the environment as you're looking off into
the environment is annoying. There's too many people. You can't get a seat. Nobody looks at you.
But that's what makes it taste better.
I don't know about that.
My father has for years contended that if you go to a hot dog truck and the guy has dirty hands, the hot dog's going to taste better.
I love that. I will say, though, Press, if you order a pie, right, like if you order it for like a whole pie, you got to get it well done, because the best part about Mac and Manco is when you order it or buy the slice, they stick it back in the oven, kind of heat it up for you, and then that makes it just a little bit crispier.
I can see that.
If you are going to get order a pie for the house or whatever, you should ask for them to do it well done, so it gets a little bit.
And by the
crispier.
way, it was Al Pacino who ate off the air. We were talking about a famous person who drove up to the side of Mac and Manco's and got pizza, and it was Al Pacino.
They got a hose that shoots tomatoes.
For whatever reason, he was down there. I don't know why, and he stayed in the car, and somebody ran out a pie to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody ran a pie to Al Pacino from Manco.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, for me, it's all about coming right off the beach, sitting in there, getting a birch beer. You always have to get a birch beer.
Yeah, it's pretty good, too.
And a whole pie, because I don't like it well done.
It's like all wonderful, but how does it port to the park? Do they have the birch beer?
Well,
it's because this is the big sell, right?
It's crazy.
This is the big thing they're announcing.
Yeah, my cell phone is just going off right now. So my buddy says that Aramark is going to run it. Hopefully,
they said
they have to do quality
Well,
control,
Manco said that it's going to be the same recipe. That they've made, they commented about it, and they said it will be our recipe.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but when our friend at the other pizza place was at Wells Fargo Center,
we know who you're talking about.
They weren't doing it right, and he came in there. He's like, "You ain't doing this." He's like, "If we're gonna have to slap my name on it, here's how
it's
you
done.
do it.
He has
You
extreme
have
pride
to do
in
it this way." Hell yes, he does.
It's a family recipe. Kathy, think of all the incredible family recipes that you have.
I mean, I could probably get in
Kathy.
there. I am. I made
Kathy's hamburgers.
I made dinner for the second night in a row last night.
Well, guys, think about this. It happens every year. Like the Schmitter was there when that first the ballpark first opened.
The Harry Schmitter.
They signed a contract to do that for like 2 or 3 years, and that ended. And
that was a good sandwich.
Yeah, I don't even know what's still there. The Schmitter's not there anymore.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think the Schmitter has been gone for a few years.
It's gone, yeah, because that was on the first base side, right? And like now, I think there might be a Federal Donuts over there.
There was one in left field too. There was one by Harry the K's. I mean,
okay.
and Marissa's right.
Well,
Like, they rotate these things around, and so they go from one section to another, and then they also will take out just a complete stands.
Well, that's what I was saying. First base. Oh God, no, I'm wrong. I said first base, but I meant third base. You're right. My bad.
So listen, this is, as Preston pointed out, incredibly valuable presence at a park like that, and what it can do, also just for raising the brand consciousness. Yeah. So I mean, it's worth whatever the hoops they have to jump through.
Steve, you couldn't be more correct. When Citizens Bank first opened, do you guys remember the line for Chickies and Pete's fries?
Sure.
Right above.
Yeah, it's
still. And like, I guess we go to Chickies and Pete's a lot, so they're readily accessible. And now there's Chickies and Pete's all over the region, like in every county. But then you couldn't get Chickies and Pete's fries anywhere but the original store and the ballpark.
Yeah.
So if you can't get Manco-Mancos, whatever the heck, what is it? Manco. It'll never be Manco-Mancos.
No.
I'm sorry.
All right, here's the rundown on what happened legally.
Oh, good.
This is from Philly Voice. It says the owner of Manco reportedly was released from federal prison. How old is this article?
This is from a few years ago.
Okay, for after serving time for tax evasion conviction, Charles Bangle of Summers Point had pleaded guilty to charges in 2015. He was sentenced to 15 months of federal prison. February 2017, served a sentence in September of that year. He was released. Prosecutors said Bangle failed to report $263,000 in income and avoided more than $91,000 in taxes. To escape federal reporting requirements, he also made cash deposits under $10,000 in 2011. His wife was sentenced to 3 years of probation after admitting that she lied to the IRS agents about cash receipts that she claimed were from Manco, but were really for personal expenses and bank accounts. So there was some fudging of the books.
When you can do it, I think it's always a wise move to lie and hide things from the IRS.
Yes, when you can.
It always works out well.
Yeah, so... all right, well, that's...
yeah, it's exciting.
Listen, yeah, it's cool hearing about... I mean, you know, the season opener is a home opener this year is on Friday.
Yeah, and they got the league got their act together, which a month ago I would not have suspected.
I know.
Are you intrigued by anything else on the menu here, Preston? There's I had not heard of Colby's Southern Kissed Chicken. Are you familiar with Southern Kissed Chicken?
No.
That's Ryan Howard's.
Yeah. So Ryan Howard's got a restaurant. What's that going to be called? Ryan Howard's? I don't know.
No, what did you
Colby's?
just say?
Oh, that's the name of it?
Yeah.
Colby's. No, is that the brand name? I didn't know. I thought that was a dish.
Yes. So Colby's founders, twin brothers Michael and Craig Colby.
Oh, no, I'm not familiar with them.
Okay, and I didn't know if this was an actual Southern thing or just a concoction for branding this particular chicken sandwich.
Yeah, and the chicken sandwich, remember, is the big piece.
Right.
From his
That's
nickname.
what that is. What about this peanut butter and jelly thing?
What about the peanut butter? I didn't hear a
Yeah,
peanut butter.
it's peanut butter and jelly burger. So
Ew.
you get it topped with peanut butter, jalapeno jelly, American cheese, bacon on a brioche bun.
I can see the jalapeno jelly, but peanut butter? Get it off of my damn burger, man. Get it off of there.
Well, the good news is that on Sunday...
Get that peanut butter out my sandwich.
You know what? Eggs don't belong on hamburgers either.
No.
Stop it with that.
It's the European way.
What the, you know?
It's the Chicago way. They give you a hamburger, you give them an egg.
On Sunday, it is Cavity Busters Day for the kids at opening day. So any of these concoctions that are causing cavities, don't worry, they're going to take care of it on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the Colby Southern Kissed Chicken. Is that, Nick, can you see if that is a chain, like, you know, some of the other places that they've brought in there? Because I am curious as to whether or not this stuff already exists or if this is a brand new creation. And if so, why wouldn't they name it after Ryan Howard? You know, I mean, have a little local flavor.
They're also going to have a finger blasters, Preston.
Finger blasters. Chicken fingers.
Yeah.
All right.
It is known as the best darn chicken in the restaurant industry. It was started in collaboration with celebrity top chef Fabio Viviani.
There's no reason to curse.
And it includes founders Craig and Michael Colby, and then Ryan Howard, I guess, is an investor and then face for the franchise.
There is something about it being at a venue, like when we went to see Claude Giroux's last game. That food just always tastes good. No matter what the level of quality, it just tastes good.
So here's what I'm sorry to interrupt, Casey.
Good.
Here's what the big piece has on it, which is their chicken sandwich, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a la. You're seeing more of these type of fried chicken sandwiches since Popeyes had such a success with it, and that was a piggyback off of. Chick-fil-A, everybody's trying to do that. And McDonald's makes a good one now.
Do they? Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do. And I was at a restaurant not long ago and I got their chicken sandwich and it was that type. And I think they're like they're brining it, in pickled juice and stuff like that. So anyhow, so this is the big piece is sweet Hawaiian bun.
I like that.
Good. Garlic aioli, yummy. Pickles, mild American cheese, bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
That works.
That's not bad at all.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Like that's your success secret in the kitchen, Kathy, right?
Exactly.
Don't overdo it.
Well, listen, I'm not going to give you my secret.
By the way, Kathy has cooked twice this week.
Back-to-back
We don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, Preston, to answer your question earlier, there are 2 Colby's locations currently in the area outside of the ballpark. There's one in Mount Holly, and then there's one down in Wilmington.
Oh, in Wilmington? Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, Dwayne wanted to comment on that. Hey, Dwayne, good morning.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
We got a Colby's. This is Dwayne Blacklister from Delaware.
How you doing, Dwayne Blacklister from Delaware? All right, so there's a Colby's in Wilmington?
It's in Christiana, really, but dude, I went there one day. It kind of sucks. I thought I was going to compete with what's the other
Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A? It can't even compete, dude. It has like a sweet taste to it. It's horrible.
I don't know.
Good thing.
Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I like Preston and I were intrigued by the sweet. You're saying it doesn't work?
Tried it. The crinkly fries are good, but the chicken, and I got 2 different chicken sandwiches. I'm like, no, this is not what I'm looking for.
Hey,
I could have went with the McDonald's, the dollar chicken sandwich. That was half decent. This thing, I'm sorry, it's just not for me.
Okay.
All right. I have a question, Dwayne. The pickle, was it dill or was it like a sweet pickle? Maybe that threw you.
It didn't have a pickle on there. They have a whole different bunch of chicken sandwiches, and I kept seeing the ads, before it came there. Actually, I went and looked at it because I think it's out of Jersey. And then I'm like, all right, as soon as it opened up, I'm like, gotta try. I went there and I'm like, no. And then I didn't see people outside. I'm like, this is probably not what you're going to like. And I'm like, wait, I'm black. I like chicken. But no.
All right.
But no, it just doesn't compete.
Honest report from Dwayne. Thanks, man. I apprate it, bud.
Have a great day, fellas.
You too, man. We'll see you.
Ladies
All right.
too.
We got a few other calls coming in concerning that. We're going to go to Phil next. Hey, Phil.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up, Phil?
Hey, I was just calling in to say the same thing about the Christiana Colby's. I've eaten there a couple times. I thought they were pretty good.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I had the sweet heat chicken sandwich. I thought that was pretty damn good.
All right.
Sweet. So what? So they obviously have riffs on their basic core burger, core chicken sandwich, and the sweet heat is what is that?
It's like a honey, but it has I don't even know what else is on it, but I know it had the honey flavor, but it had like a jalapeno type bite to it as well.
I'm liking what I'm hearing here.
All right.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good, and I mean, you get a good even piece of chicken on there too. So.
All right. Cool, man. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. Who's this we're going to?
Brian Cunningham. Brian always brought in Chris Coons.
Oh, yeah. And he would know, Delaware. Let's go down that way. Brian, hey, man.
Good morning. You guys rock.
Thank you, bud. All right, so Colby's, I'm not familiar. None of us are familiar, but a lot of people in the Delaware region are.
Big fan. Have had the big piece a number of times. We enjoy it as a family. Good service. Great hush puppies, if you like the hush puppies.
Ooh, you a hush puppy fan?
I love hush puppies.
Fried green bean fries that are very good.
Ooh.
And, if you don't stuff yourself, they have really good milkshakes. So,
all right.
I'm happy to politely defend or contradict the previous caller's definition.
All right.
No, we understand that. Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Brian. Thanks, man. Good to hear from you, bud.
You got have a good day.
You too.
So, I mean, listen, they can bring all this fine cuisine into the ballpark, but I'm still going to get a hot dog. You know, I
well,
can't
it's tradition,
help it.
right?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
There are some things I have to have at. I mean, it's like we started this with Manco and Manco. You got to have Manco or Max when you're at the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And you got to have a hot dog when you're at the ballpark.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I do like to get a hot dog when I go to the ballpark. Absolutely. And I remember the Phils at one point they were named the best hot dog in the nation.
Yeah. I mean, there was a transition occurred, was it about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Where they realized that a big sell as they were trying to improve the experience was to raise the food game at the ballparks.
And it's not just for Phillies fans.
Right.
You know, the thing about ballparks these days is that you get people coming in from around the country. People travel to see these ballparks.
Absolutely.
So they want a different experience when they go. But Phillies Franks used to be able to buy those. You might still be able to, but you could buy Phillies Franks in an Acme.
And if you have $500, you get to have a really good time and eat great food at the ballpark.
How much is parking this year?
Dear God.
And by the way, I feel like the best hot dog you're going to get is at the turn of a golf course. That is, and
you find them in the grass.
No. Well, maybe. But
those are duck turds.
I tend to buy mine from the restaurant.
Yeah.
I usually
So on a golf courses tend to have the best hot dogs.
Yeah.
Well, it's after you played 9 holes. It's what's called the turn.
Oh.
And so there's usually a quick refreshment grab or something like that. And it's, because you've played for a couple hours and you're hungry. And usually a hot dog is really good to go at the turn.
And Valley Brook, believe it or not, that's my favorite hot dog.
Valley Brook Country Club? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a favorite country club hot dog?
Happy. I was a vegetarian, and then I got to the turn at Valley Brook, and I was like, I think I'm going to have a hot dog.
Is that where you
I
gave
swear
up?
to God. I swear I
gotta tell
you not.
My favorite laundromat chips.
Have any of you guys been to the ballpark in Reading where the fighting's played?
No. I hear it's great.
It is. It's a really good, and it's by the way, it's cheaper. So if you're looking to take the family out and you get really great seats, you're on top of the action. But they have these hot dogs, Casey. I don't know what they do with them, but they are my favorite ballpark dogs. Yes, and like they grill the buns a little bit differently.
I like that.
It's not, Steve, the way you were describing your dad's, favorite kind of a dog. Like they put some time and effort. At least there's the appearance of time and effort into the dogs that they serve there. They're really, really good.
I want to go back to Colby's because we had they've announced it's going to be one of the new properties at Citizens Bank Park along with Manco and Manco, and so it's a Ryan Howard owned establishment. And Jay wants to mention one of the menu items that we had said. Hi, Jay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Well, don't dismiss the peanut butter and jelly burger yet.
Okay.
Until you tried it.
All right.
I went to a restaurant in Mays Landing, and I saw it on the board there as a special. I'm like, come on, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
The guy talked me into it. It was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
All right. So the one at Colby's has peanut butter. It's got jalapeno jelly.
Yes, that's what this had too.
Okay.
And cheese and bacon.
Jay, so Lucky's in Manayunk at the Burger Brawls, in Casey, you and I would always judge. They had a peanut butter, and I think it's just straight up regular jelly on top of a burger, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. So, but the jalapeno jelly seems to make more sense to me.
Somehow, how the fat from the peanut butter renders in with the fat from the burger, it's absolutely fantastic. I make them at home all the time.
You got Nick's attention.
Don't mind if I do.
Would you like some more fat with your fat?
Don't mind if I do.
All right. I don't, Jay, here's the deal. I would not order one. Somebody would have to give me a bite or cut off a little piece, or I'd have a little sample of it or something like that.
They bring it to the radio station.
And that's what they ought to do. That's what they ought to do. If you're going to have something like that on the menu, they ought to like when you get your bourbon chicken at any standard Chinese cafeteria, they're always giving samples of that stuff. I guess it's like crack cocaine.
The food court. Yeah. The way they do it at the food court.
Yeah, if they could have little samples of this PB&J burger, I'd try it and you might sell it on.
Care for some toasted rat?
Yeah. Right. Brazier's coming by on Thursday. He wants to come by and promote opening day. I can, if you want, I can lay the smackdown and say, listen, you can't come in unless you're bringing peanut butter burgers and coffee chicken.
He has to. I agree. I think that's the one as it's research.
Yes.
I'm game. It may not travel well, but I'm game for trying.
But you know what? People always say that. We always say we take that into consideration. So we will accommodate. We realize it's not optimum, but if it's still good, then that says a lot about it.
Hang on a second. Let me another call or two on Colby's because there's people who have been on hold for a while. I'll go to Alex, and we got to take a break. Alex, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, bud?
I actually live near the one in Mount Holly. That was the original flagship store, and Ryan Howard worked there for at least a month or two, serving out food. And for the longest time, they had a line that was stretching down Route 38.
Okay.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I personally have never had it, but I know that the way they bread, it's like a thicker batter. And
Somebody was calling in and said it was like a cornbread type of breading on it, which I'm intrigued
and
by.
they
or maybe cornmeal.
Some people don't have. They're not. It just doesn't go well to them with the chicken sandwich when we're used to the McDonald's crispy chicken sandwich,
right?
Like Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
But yeah, they have hush puppies, and it's the breading style. If you read reviews, it's a hit or a miss whether you like it or not.
You like it?
I have not had it yet.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I wish I could. I see it every day when I'm going through Lumberton and stuff, and I'm just like, I need to go there.
Well, it is your mission now, Alex, as a representative of the Preston and Steve show, that you must sample this and return your review, please.
Absolutely. I'll do the peanut butter and jelly one just for you.
All right, thank you,
Or
Alex.
get your own radio show and
That- you
start
could do that,
visiting
too.
guests to bring food to you.
Rob Wassman, by the way, from Rouge, who he is the one who created the Burger Brawl. He
Yes.
said that Lucky it won 3 times.
Yeah.
Lucky's,
It was a big
Peanut
hit.
butter one?
Yeah.
Peanut butter
yeah.
and jelly one?
Right.
Okay. By the way, Nick, somebody texted in and said the hot dogs in Reading are Burke's hot dogs.
Yeah, somebody said that they're made literally like the hot dog factory is right around the corner from the ballpark, so they're fresh.
Well, there's a hot dog factory around the corner.
You can hear them killing the pigs from here.
It's a great ballpark.
They use nail guns.
Reading, Lehigh Valley with the Iron Pigs play, and the Trenton, all really great ballparks they're nearby, much more affordable than downtown in South Philly if you want to go.
By the way, Steve, per your request, Casey's impression of the Manco's tube.
Yeah.
Sauce tube.
Yeah, please.
Here we go.
I knew it'd be
That
good.
is Casey's Manco's sauce tube. And that's how they put it on your pizza.
Can I get a little more sauce on mine? Thank you so much.
Wait, you missed the spot.
Can I get an enema with that, please?
Thank you. Next.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. We have your chance to win MMR's concert cash, so don't miss out. Bizarre File Up 2. We'll be back in a sec.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
I want to tell you about this thing too. So they take
The
pictures with people. Like you can pay. It's expensive.
Like it can be for a couple $100.
Yeah,
but you're gonna get a frameable quality
More
photo.
than that,
Yeah.
it was incredible. People were bringing props. People were bringing birthday cakes, fake birthday cakes, and he was doing all of it because it's an expensive thing.
It's like Wizard World here, and
it
same
is
deal.
very
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
I think it might be from the people who created
It
Wizard
probably
World.
is, yeah.
There's something. I'd heard that as a rumor. So they're doing that kind of a thing. We keep running into him. And Hiddleston walks up behind me at one point. Who towers over me? I'm 5'6", he's 6'2". He's like, I heard you do a Tom Hiddleston impression. I'm like, no, I don't, but I do the Beatles. That's what it turns into. So then a guy comes in and he goes, Frank! And they were in the back area because originally I was just going to stalk everybody with my daughter. But try and be nice. You know, you guys know what that's like. But
He's looking at his stalkers here in the studio.
No, you do that thing where you respect everybody's space and stuff like that. You do. So we didn't ask for any extra pictures or anything like that outside the times we were supposed to. And this guy comes and he goes, Frank! And it's Todd McFarlane.
Oh, wow.
Spawn.
Yeah. And baseball collector extraordinaire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he sits down and he starts talking, who's this? This is Juliet. Hey, Juliet. And he starts talking to my daughter. He starts saying, so I actually have this on video. I'll show it to you. I never asked him if I could share it with anybody to play. But he says, I created a character called, you ever hear of him, Venom? So I was trying, and he tells the whole story of how he created Venom, which is basically, they wanted him to, and I've never heard this story before, they wanted him to draw the black costume Spider-Man. That was where it was at that point. He's
Right,
like, he's like, I don't want to draw Spider-Man. I can kind of do his voice. Like, I don't want to draw Spider-Man. I don't want to draw him in a black costume. Red and blue, right? And my daughter's like, yes, it's red and blue. And he's like, so he starts drawing it there, and he starts going to. He's like, so the reason Venom's created because I was stubborn. I didn't want to do what they wanted me to do. I was like, and
that was the genesis of the character.
Yeah, that's what it says. He's like, we'll make a villain. He'll be the black character, and then the red and blue will be Spider-Man still. We'll all be happy, and that's how it turned out. Oh. Yeah, it's surreal.
Did you watch The Family Guy this past weekend or the weekend before with Peter goes to the White House and works in the Trump administration?
No.
It was a funny episode, but as you can imagine, it skewered Trump a lot. I thought that it was you. I had to watch the credits because it sounded like your impression of Trump, which is a relatively easy impression, I think,
I don't
to
think
do.
It's very hard.
I think that because of how easy it is, people think that just doing the impression is funny. When that's not the case.
It's not.
Right.
You've always done this.
And mine is tremendous. It really is. There's a lot of people that are talking about my impression. Here's the thing. You guys do a great job. This is probably the #1 show I'll be on right now. And let me say that the ratings going through the roof, not even just the roof, through the stratosphere, and Space Force will probably find them. Yeah. But we'll talk about this for a second. What were we talking about? Doesn't matter. It just got better. My stuff is silly. My stuff is silly that people who are like on one side or the other, they go, oh, that was great. I had that happen years and years ago in Texas. I was doing George W. Bush. Yeah. And they're like, you do, the people out of the same show, people go, you must really love him. That was great how you did that. And other people walk out and go, you hate him, don't you? And I was like, you decide. You decide. That's what you want. If you're listening to me for politics, in this venue, you're in the wrong.
But if you're able to nail it both ways like that, then you hit it.
That's how I want to do it. Yeah. And for me, like, there's enough out there for the people that are pro this or anti this that. What am I going to do? Add to one of those sides?
That's our philosophy.
And I don't even believe that I would go. There are things I think that happen that are okay, that are good, and that are bad and awful. And it all happens, and it's whatever. I feel like eventually it's going to work itself out one way or another. But if people just scream and yell from the rooftops, it just makes other people mad.
Yes.
And that's where I come from. And
besides that, Preston and I are big fans of dystopian future movies. So those are cool. Well, however it breaks, whether we're fighting vampires or zombies.
Whatever it is.
Or whatever. Or maybe we're a mailman, Preston, like in the Postman.
Yeah. Listen, my friend Rick and I met up with a lot of people. You just stab them in the brain. That's what you do. You don't grab them by the you-know-what. You stab them in the brain. When you hear that sound, it's tremendous. It gets really, really great.
So, interesting story from the Nick McElwain camp. Your son had to have a medical procedure, nothing serious.
Yeah, he's totally fine. But this was something that I'd never heard of before, and I thought maybe bring it up on the air because of that. It's called an epidermal inclusion cyst. So I'd never heard of that. I obviously didn't know what a cyst is. It was about the size of like a Mento, and it's kind of like a flat disc about the size of a quarter, but no thicker than a Mento or a Spree or something like that.
Did it have breath freshening attributes to it?
Did it have Retsin?
It didn't have any Retsin, no. Okay. And but removed quickly, easily, 3 stitches, sewed them right back up.
It's funny that you mentioned, Steve, the Mentos and did have the scent to it. When I had a different, and I've talked about it in years past, I had a completely different kind of cyst. It's called the pilonidal cyst in our tailbone. And I got that thing lanced.
Oh, God.
Most painful experience of my life. Not only did it hurt, Kathy, you're really going to be disgusted by this.
I heard it. I know.
It stunk up the room.
Awful.
Really?
It's awful.
Did it come flooding out? The stench?
It just smelled like rot. It just I couldn't believe it that I was in that much pain and I was still able to notice the putrid smell of that.
Bonus.
Right? Exactly. So let me ask you this. When they removed this from him, did they put him under? Was it done in a
local anesthesia? And but the interesting thing, and I guess one of the differences between the cysts is this one was this sac developed around the infection, and
a cyst sac,
and you could see it. So it was encased in this thing, and so it was almost like a solid just pulled right out of his body. So this protective sac that formed around the cyst sac. Was there. It's what the body does to protect itself from an infection.
It's amazing what the body does in those cases, the way it attempts to expel anything. Any chance if you had left it there, it would have become a pearl?
Maybe.
I have one in my cheek. I've had it for years since I was a kid.
A cyst?
Yeah, and
From chewing tobacco?
No. The doctor said never to remove it, that I don't ever have to, just because it would be like, a surgery to
Inside or on the outside?
What do you mean? It's like under my skin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? If
I can feel it from the inside.
You could have something protruding on the inside of your mouth and not be able to see it or feel it from the outside.
So you wouldn't be able to see it or feel it. You kind of have to push down. So it's almost like hidden between the inside of my mouth and my skin on the outside. But when I get sick, if I have a cold or my immune system is compromised, it gets a little bit bigger.
Would I be able to feel it if I touched it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to.
I'd have to go all the way around the room.
Yeah, I'd have to show you where it is and direct your finger.
There we go.
We got it.
Don't be scared. I'll lead you. It's okay. Don't be scared. I'm gonna let you caress my inner mouth.
I hate you guys.
Inner mouth lump. It's all right. It happens to lots of guys.
You'll guide my finger?
I'll guide your finger. And when I quiver, you'll know you hit it.
Listen, I thought, too, about different ways I could say that, and that's what came out, because I knew you were going to make something of it.
Oh, I'll quiver when you hit it.
That was my best option.
Money shot.
Yep. Wow. Okay. I've been given the wrap-up sign. We have to take her. I know. Marissa just brought the full list of cysts, Casey.
Your cyst
is on my list. Because your cyst,
I can't resist.
All right.
I got my finger to your cyst.
And I'm feeling you quiver. All right, we'll come back to these.
Yeah,
because we got to break and come back, and we got to get Lou Diamond Phillips on. But maybe we can run down the list of cysts. The cyst list. A tourist in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, faces a couple of criminal charges after firing his gun 6 times at a bear outside the door of his motel room last Thursday night. Gregory Sapp was
enjoying your stay at the Westin?
Gregory Sapp was cited for illegal discharge of a firearm and reckless endangerment. Police said Sapp claimed the bear was outside his room on the second floor breezeway of the Motel 6.
Dude, I'm just trying to get some ice.
Sapp was not injured. Officers with the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency were unable to find the bear on Friday. They did not know how many shots hit the animal. It is unknown if the bear is dead or alive.
Was there, in fact, a bear?
A neighbor, Anthony Gunter, said, I had heard several shots ring out. It turns out this fellow was shooting at a black bear that he claimed tried to attack him and his wife. He exclaimed that it was a 300 or 400 pound bear, which is the exact size of that bear that's been in our neighborhood for a while. It's a big bear, but like I said, I've never had a problem with that bear.
Sounds like that there hotel bear we've been hearing about.
He said it just goes about its business.
Oh, he's a big fella.
He said I'm quoting you, he was a really friendly bear. He would just walk over here, leave us alone, go over there. I hope he's alive, he says. Police
let me describe what he would do. He'd be over there, and then he'd be over there. I never saw him over there, though.
But he was over there?
I don't recollect.
But he was definitely there in there.
Yeah, 4 times. Well, 2 times there and 2 times there. I keep a diary. That's that book that says there on it.
That's the name of the diary?
Yeah.
It's the bear over there.
That bear over there.
Police said they're still investigating the case. The Motel 6 has several cameras visible on the exterior of the building and the breezeways.
We'll leave the bear on for you.
Neighbors said they take a wait-and-see approach on whether the animal was aggressive toward the motel guests, but they admit that the animals roam the breezeway of the motels.
No reason to be afraid. The bear was over there.
He said those bears will go up and down them ramps of these hotels searching for food, whatever they can find. If the bear was truly aggressive and threatening, the man may be justified for shooting in self-defense. But you are not allowed to shoot a bear just because it's close to you.
Just because it's there.
Yeah. Where was he?
There.
Firing a weapon should only be used as a last resort when there is no other escape option. According to them.
I don't know how fond I would be of a hotel where there was a robust bear population.
On the second floor.
On the second floor.
He was able to make it up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Without a key.
All right, another fact that we learned from
the Just Saying Institute, located over 200 sprawling acres in West Virginia.
The last decade from researchers. If your ex wants to be friends, they might be a psychopath.
If your ex wants to be friends, that's sign of being a psychopath, possibly?
In 2016, researchers from Oakland University in Michigan found that people with the so-called dark triad personality traits like narcissism and psychopathy, I guess is how you say it.
He's a member of the Dark Triad.
Like Cobra?
I'm going to have to take him out.
Often keep their exes.
He's the disease. I'm the ex-boyfriend.
No, they often keep their exes around for calculating, self-serving purposes.
Okay.
A desire for continued sexual access, financial help, or a need to still exert some control over a former partner were among key reasons for maintaining contact, especially for men. These are facts, yes, from the Just Saying Institute.
From the Just Saying Institute.
That
we end up just saying things at the Just Saying Institute.
That we have found out over the last 10 years about relationships and
That's a decade.
Love and sex and all that stuff. So how about this one? Speaking of sex, that sexual afterglow that you feel after sex will last about 48 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean
longer for you, Cather?
No, it seems to diminish pretty quickly.
Are you sure? Because you had to clean up right
Get
after.
off of me. Get it off of me. But the glow, get it off.
It's like it's like you've sat in the bedroom with me.
Get it off. You have this glow. It's the light refracting off of it.
It's shimmering and shiny.
Get it off.
It's glazy.
I look like a Krispy Kreme.
So you're generally in a better...
Get your blanket and pillow. You're sleeping on the couch.
You're generally in a better mood after sex thanks to a flood of endorphins and other feel-good hormones released post-climax. The positive effects of getting laid last up to 2 days. And
Wow.
That the feeling can help couples bond over time.
I always let out a big sigh when I close the laptop.
Says there might
Clear history and
there might be.
Erase the history.
What's on Google News?
There might be an evolutionary reason for the 48-hour shelf life. 48 hours is roughly the same amount of time that A, conception is maximized, B, it takes sperm concentrations to be restored to peak levels.
Do we have to guess which one?
And C, no, these things all happen.
All the above.
And C, sperm remain maximally viable in the female reproductive tract. So all of that happens over 48 hours, and it's all
You're
apparently.
the semen. I'm the afterglow.
Just let him be
Okay,
here.
all right.
Let him be here. That's Cobra. That's Cobra.
I apologize.
He's a professor at the Just Saying Institute.
I didn't know.
Oh, my God. All right.
Just Saying Institute. I'm a professor.
Well, just a
teaching
reminder
classes daily.
that the Arrow Bear is hitting the road. He's going to be doing a live broadcast. He will be at the Xfinity store in the Northeast Shopping Center on Roosevelt Boulevard in Northeast Philly. And so that's from, like 10:30-ish whenever we get done till 3 p.m. So he will be there. And this is because of their great contributions that Xfinity and Comcast made for the Camp Out for Hunger.
God, they've been doing such a great job, and they've been really upping their amounts. And I got to tell you something. I like those stores. There's a lot of gadgets, a lot of cool stuff.
And make sure you stop by and see Pierre because not only is he broadcasting, but he'll have your chance to win some great prizes. I would imagine maybe some MM barbecue tickets. I don't know for sure, but maybe.
You can imagine.
And speaking of those tickets.
MMR's Concert Cash. Now, here's your Concert Cash keyword.
It's 8 o'clock, so we're going to reveal that word. The first one of the day. This hour's keyword is hurry, Hurry. And there's no hurry, really, because you have 15 minutes until 15 after the hour, specifically, to enter that word, hurry, Hurry. 3 ways to do it. All right, you can text it to our special contest short code number, which is 45911. Or if you'd like to be entered for the $10,000 grand prize, you want to enter it via our MMR app or at WMMR.com. And one random entry wins $500 in our company-wide contest, and all MMR winners receive 2 free tickets to the MMRBQ. Winners will get a call from our company, Beasley. Make sure that you answer your phone. The contest rules are available at WMMR.com. It's HURRY. That's the word. And is sponsored by AAA Distributor. Good luck to you.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Annie Mac's. Their golf tournament benefiting service dogs for veterans is almost here. Become a sponsor by visiting fetchtheballcharity.com and use the promo code ROCK, and you will get a free gift. All right, we'll start with a local story. Maybe you caught this, maybe not. A small plane crashed into the front yard of a house on South Main Street in Manville, New Jersey, Monday afternoon. Not far from the Central Jersey Regional Airport, just over the border in Hillsborough. The 2006 Mooney M20M plane was destined for the Hillsborough Airfield after taking off from North Carolina. And the police said, Lieutenant John Carter said that there were no casualties at the scene, and the pilot was the sole occupant of the plane and taken to a local hospital for treatment. He said the pilot, who did not identify, got himself out of the plane and was across the street when the authorities arrived.
That's pretty amazing.
The pilot had a head injury, but it did not appear life-threatening. Preliminarily, it appears that the pilot was landing, had a problem, and tried to abort the landing and clipped a tree, which spun the aircraft and caused it to crash. It sparked a small fire, which firefighters extinguished in a short amount of time.
Well, you know how easily that could end poorly. The fact that he walked away from the accident, that's amazing.
Yep. The late Maryland rapper by the name of Gunu, all right?
Okay.
Quite literally received the Weekend at Bernie's treatment this past Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Gunu was shot in the parking lot in Prince George's County, Maryland on March 18th. He died several hours later in an area hospital. His family believes he was a victim of an armed robbery, and the Prince George's County Police Department is offering $25,000 for any information leading to the assailant's arrest. Now, on Sunday, Gunu's family and friends held a celebratory event at Washington, D.C.'s Bliss nightclub, which was billed as the rapper's final show. Gunu's apparent embalmed corpse was propped upright and on full display during the event, adorned with a crown and designer clothing. And they've got him like standing.
Propped up. And let me tell you something. He spit some awesome rhymes.
Oh, man. And so the apparently a rapper named Black Fortune who attended the event confirmed that it was Gunu's actual body and no wax figure. He said as long as his mother was happy, that's all that matters.
Who knew Gunu was going to be there?
In a statement issued on Monday, Bliss Nightclub said that it was never made aware that Gunu's corpse would be on display during the event.
Is that the thing you have to ask?
They said Bliss was contacted by a local funeral home to rent out our venue for Gunu's homegoing celebration. The statement notes, we sincerely apologize to those who may be upset or offended. Please keep Gunu's family and friends in your prayers at this difficult time.
So, Preston, in the Gunu pictures that I've seen, I can't quite determine how far they have him leaning back because he looks like he's almost freestanding.
Yeah,
in the pictures I've seen.
They have to have like a hook hanging on his clothing and in the back or something like that because it looks like he's standing straight up. It's okay, whatever, man. All right, this story's out of Scotland. A man found himself in court this week after staggering topless across a busy dual highway and shouting at a field of sheep before opening a stranger's car door and urinating on a 9-year-old boy.
Yes, stop it, sheep! Excuse me for a second. I got to piss on a boy.
So Thomas Degnan from Glasgow caused chaos at a filling station before weaving across the A9 road near the Glen Eagles Hotel. He forced a number of motorists to swerve out of his way to avoid striking him before he ended up in the field, who was just harassing an innocent flock of sheep.
You stupid sheep.
During the bizarre
covered in wool.
During the bizarre rampage, he pulled open the rear door of a car and urinated on a 9-year-old boy who happened to be sitting in the back.
How you folks doing? You mind if I piss on your son?
The court was told that Degnan had urinated on a car and had been heard shouting and swearing by shocked witnesses in the incident. Degnan had admitted acting in a threatening and abusive manner. Now, he admitted causing fear or alarm.
They never should have changed it from Manco and Max.
By repeatedly shouting and swearing and repeatedly striking the window of a vehicle occupied by a woman and a 9-year-old boy.
You'd freak the hell out if you saw that outside your car.
He admitted urinating on the car and then opening the door and urinating into it and onto the boy before staggering onto the A9 where while he was still not wearing a shirt, he appeared for sentencing after previously admitting the charges against him.
I apologize to the little boy and I apologize to the sheep.
Yes. He was sorry. He was very sorry. Well, here's a local story. Montgomery Township man was arrested on two charges Thursday morning after he allegedly broke into American Star Diner and stole food and then broke into the Adult World store before being scared away by an employee.
Full time to spank it.
Robert Dugan has been charged with 2 counts of felony burglary. Dugan was captured on surveillance at the American Star Diner where he broke the locking mechanism on the front door, forced his way inside, and he allegedly stole an entire cheesecake and a half of a prime rib roast.
Oh, that's a big meal.
Then he exited the dinner through the broken front door. And just after 6 a.m., a shirtless Dugan was captured on surveillance outside of Adult World on DeKalb Pike, where he was observed striking a message billboard with a bat, causing it to break, and then allegedly began striking windows of the business before repeatedly striking the glass front door, causing it to shatter. Footage showed Dugan leaning in through the shattered door. However, a female employee screamed at Dugan, and he fled the scene on foot towards Costco. Total damage there was about $5,000. He was subsequently taken into custody that morning. I also find it amazing that somebody's at Adult World at 6 a.m. to work.
Right.
I wonder what their hours are.
You know that breakfast rush.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll do one more story. A construction worker, I believe this is in Ireland, yes. A construction worker was removed from a building site after being caught dropping a bag of his own poop off of a crane
Oh, dear God.
in Dublin.
Oh, my God.
The culprit was caught brown-handed and removed from the site after management got wind of the incident on Wednesday.
Watch this. It's going to be very funny.
The man who was working on the site through
Hey, Angus, look up!
a subcontractor will never be able to work on any of the company's sites again. In footage seen by Dublin Live, the man reveals a plastic bag filled with poop while standing in the cab of a crane.
Oh, man.
The blue and red plastic bag is tied tightly while the man jokes about the joys of being a crane driver. Some toilet paper is clearly visible inside the crane. The man in a separate video swings the tied bag above Dublin's skyline before slowly dropping it onto a rooftop directly underneath the crane while cackling merrily to himself. The bag plops onto a roof right next to a skylight, leaving a nasty mess.
I admit that I'm easily amused.
Viewers are left speechless when the camera zooms in further on the disgusting and bewildering delivery.
Yeah. But listen, that's how they do it over there in Ireland.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. There you go. And that is what I have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. Okay, we have somebody we're going to talk to now.
Yes.
Via Zoom. There is an event coming up. It is a pet adoption event. Casey is involved in this. Casey, you're going to be there for this event?
Yeah, because Rafferty Subaru is always giving back, and so they're hosting this event on Saturday morning/afternoon.
All right, so we have the Director of Advancement and Public Relations at Providence Animal Center. This is Justina Caliendo, who is joining us this morning. Hi, Justina.
Hello, you guys.
Nice to see you. So Casey was telling us just a little bit about the event, but we're obviously going to go to you for more of the details. But quickly, before we do that, tell us about Providence Animal Center, please.
Yeah, so you might remember us as Delco SPCA. We changed our name a few years ago. This year, we're celebrating our 10th year life-saving, which means we are what's considered a no-kill facility. We are aiming to do 4,000 adoptions this year of cats and dogs. We also offer low-cost vet care, low-cost behavior services that are open to all to help keep pets out of shelters. That's really our main goal. And we also investigate acts of cruelty within the 49 municipalities of Delaware County. So preventing cruelty, preventing homelessness, and finding new families for orphan pets.
My wife and I are big supporters of Providence.
Yes.
You know that, and the work that you do is really good, and especially on that. A lot of times when you hear about an abused animal, they end up with you guys, and you guys are taking care of them. and just do great work consistently. So, and is Bark in the Park on this year again? Hopefully, yeah.
They're on, Steve, October 22nd. I hope you can be there.
Yeah. This time, usually everything sort of, they pick the same weekend, but I should be good.
I know.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
All right, well, what about the event this weekend? What else going on there, Justina?
So our friends at Rafferty have been really good to us for the past couple of years. They donated a car to us, which our humane officer actually goes out and rescues animals in. But they love us so much, they have us for adoption events twice a year. So this is one of 2 events we're going to have at Rafferty. The Rafferty brothers are sponsoring 50% of the adoption fees of dogs, cats, puppies, and kittens.
Wow.
So and it's very generous of them because normally that's not an offer we do for puppies and kittens, but they really want to encourage adoptions. So we are going to have all types of animals, ages, breeds, sizes, available for adoption. It is an 11 o'clock event at Rafferty Subaru in Newtown Square. And then, of course, Casey's going to be there with some of your crew. I know you guys are going to raffle stuff off. So it's going to be a great event. So we really hope that people will come down. If you have a dog, bring your dog.
Hey, just for numbers' sake, how many at events like this, how many homes can you usually find for pets, do you think?
Our goal for Saturday is 20.
Okay.
So we're really hoping to place 20 pets. Rafferty has helped us find over 100 homes for pets over the past couple of years.
Oh, wow.
So they've really made a great dent, in helping us find homes.
That's great. Subaru is incredibly generous. These guys are, very much so. And Casey, I know, obviously Casey has 2 dogs that are the size of Clydesdales.
Yeah.
So this is big for you as well.
But this is cool because, not only is this an adoption event at Rafferty, I mean, you are going to have the animals there. Not all of your animals, but you will have animals there that you'll be able to meet and adopt, I assume, on site?
Yes, on site. And what's really cool is sometimes people will go there and they'll be buying a car and they're like, I was thinking about adding a pet.
Yeah.
So whatever works. I mean, we're down with it. They're good families. We want to find them a good pet.
Excellent. All right, so Casey, 11 till
I'll
what
be
time?
there from 11 to 1. The whole event is going on from 11 to 2, I believe. But, I'll be there for the first 2 hours.
Excellent. All right, Justina, we wish you luck. We'll send people in that direction. It is Rafferty Subaru this Saturday at 11 a.m. You can go to WMMR.com and get details, but stop by and help support Providence Animal Center. Thank you, Justina.
Yay. Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you soon. And good luck with everything. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. When we return, the first ever Preston and Steve show and tell event.
Yeah.
Some of us have brought in items to show and tell you about, so we will do that in just a few. Stay there.
Up about the pressures of being a new mom in the public eye.
Thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay, since it's really been a struggle?
Yes.
Wow. Says a new mom?
Yeah, she's dealing with being a new mother. Well, you let her tell you.
All right.
Look, any woman, especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable, and so that was made really challenging. And then when you have a newborn,
It's a long time ago, but I remember, yeah.
And especially as a woman, it's a lot. So you add this on top of just trying to be a new mom or trying to be a newlywed.
I know this is probably inappropriate, but I would love to kiss you.
Wow. Excuse me?
I'm just watching you speak, and with your tone is very inviting. I would love to kiss you.
He's the Joe Namath.
He's the Joe Namath of the British press corps.
I'm sure that this is inappropriate, but in that first clip, the British guy says to her that's it's really been a struggle to her, and to me, it sounded like it's really penis struggle.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys caught that clip,
Really,
but
penis struggle.
Go back to.
You're right. I have struggled with many penises, depending on girth and other factors.
Wow.
But I have a perfect fit in my current husband, and it's good. Sometimes I don't even know it's happening. Thank you.
Wait, let's hear that clip. Hold on.
Would it be fair to say not really okay, since it's really been a struggle?
Yes.
In fact, the other night he rolled over and he said, God damn, that was great. And I said, what? And he had actually completed a sexual act. And I was wholly unaware. I didn't even miss. I was reading a book at the time. I had literally no idea, but it speaks to how quiet he is and how small.
She's turning it into him.
I've had things that were very painful, and I felt, I don't know, in a way, the word would be, I guess, build up, and I don't feel that. I feel as if I don't know. If a person of short stature would have wandered through the Carlsbad Caverns. I think perhaps that's what his penis must feel like.
Oh, my God.
It's a penis struggle.
So this was kind of interesting. Jodie Foster almost played Cindy Brady when she was a kid.
Wow.
The Brady Bunch cast
As
revealed
Nell.
on Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, instead of a lisp, she can't communicate at all. So Cindy, Susan Olsen had a little bit of a lisp, and yeah.
Cindy, you can't go smearing your feces on the attic wall. I know it's comfortable for you to spread your spore around the house to chase away predators.
Mr. Brady could even communicate. He could have a moral lesson for Nell, who wouldn't understand him.
Gaya fla bla ta qua. Fuego tabla.
That's Nell.
Where y'all gone what?
No. I got talk quack quack play.
That's her version. That's her version of Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house, Steve." Play it one more time.
Where y'all gone what?
Yeah, Mom always said, "Don't play ball in the house." You know that. But apparently, it was on Watch What Happens live with Andy Cohen, Maureen McCormack, Eve Plum, Susan Olsen, Barry Williams, Christopher Knight, and Mike Lookenlamb were all reuniting there. This is ahead of HGTV's Food Network crossover special, a very Brady renovation holiday edition. Susan Olsen had said that
James Gandolfini was supposed to play Bobby.
That Jodie Foster was up for Cindy. So
entirely different cast, right?
Yeah, totally different. Something new from Hershey's. I have. You guys like Hershey's Kisses, right? I mean, pretty much.
I do. I do. They're especially on the holidays too. You get those cookies with the big single Hershey's Kiss right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle, yeah. Hershey's has created a new flavor, and they arrived. No, I'm sorry. They arrived in 2019, and now they're back for Valentine's Day. It is the Hershey's Lava Cake Kisses.
And is it made from actual molten lava?
It burns the inside of the interior of your mouth. Yes. The kisses are dark chocolate with a gooey chocolate center.
This seems very
Jewish chocolate center.
Bill Weston loves
Is that a Jewish thing?
Is that a Jewish thing?
Gooey.
This has a very Jewy taste to it.
Mazel.
They're so moist and Jewy.
Mazel. Of course, I would say that.
Is that a Jewish thing?
Oh, my God. And there goes the second.
It's a wonderful cookie with the taste of Israel.
The kisses are dark chocolate with a gooey chocolate center.
Is that a Jewish thing?
Not a Jewy chocolate center. And I just said Jesus under my breath, too. Jeez.
Well, he was a Jew.
That's right. The limited edition holiday flavor is available at Target, Walmart, and other retailers.
I like this concept. Do you like the chocolate molten cake?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God,
I very much do. I bought this for my wife and I's last anniversary. Wee's anniversary. And by the way, if chocolate has a discolored look to it, does not necessarily mean that it's bad. Yeah, I did read that a while back. That doesn't mean that.
So what does it mean?
It's bad. Somebody look
even
it up.
Jewier.
It's kosher.
Okay, all right, that's what it means.
Yeah.
So Preston, just a quick thing on these candies, the ones that have the molten, is that is a soft center?
It's a gooey
center.
Chocolate
I
center.
like that idea.
Yeah, I do too. Here we go. It says, when you see white or grayish film on the surface of your food, it normally means product has gone bad, but it's different with chocolate. When the cocoa butter fats in chocolate separate from the cocoa, mass and rise to the surface, it results in something called fat bloom. You gonna eat your fat bloom?
Are you gonna eat that fat bloom?
Listen, if you're not going to eat your fat bloom, can I have it? It looks really good.
Can I have
So if it's white, it's
Can I please have your fat bloom? It looks extra delicious.
it might not be bad, but it's called fat bloom. I'm gonna
Right.
pass
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
Somebody just make a dessert, go cut right to the chase and fat bloom.
One last thing. Marissa sent this to me. It involves booze, so thank you, Marissa. Red Lobster has added a specialty cocktail to their menu. Red Lobster is now offering a Bloody Mary, but with a twist in line with their brand. It comes topped with a lobster claw and one of their famous Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Wow.
And it does look quite yummy. So it's made from Tito's vodka, Marissa's favorite, and Bloody Mary mix that apparently is custom made by Red Lobster. The glass is then garnished with an entire lobster craw, one shrimp, an olive, a lime, a Cheddar Bay biscuit, and spicy seasoning on the rim of the glass as well. My mouth is watering.
Really? That's working it for you, huh?
Oh, man, a good Bloody Mary. Jeez.
Murray.
You and the Jewish thing.
Jeez, oh, man.
Listen, can I have a Bloody Mary and some of those Jewy candies?
Bloody Murray. We should make a Bloody Murray.
We should. Cream soda, gefilte fish. It's a Bloody Mary.
Manischewitz.
Yeah. Right? Do they make like a raspberry Manischewitz?
Manischewitz.
I've only seen
Listen,
blackberry.
you have with your Jewy candy.
I want to try a Bloody Murray.
A Bloody Murray. Bartenders, come up with a Bloody Murray.
I'm coming.
Oh my.
He said he wanted a Bloody Murray.
And it comes with calamari, which looks like
calamari.
It looks like it's been from a bris.
Sure.
I'll have some calamari, a Bloody Murray.
Anyway,
we need to make that drink now, Preston.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I said let's put it out there to bartenders.
Come up with a Bloody Murray.
Bloody Murray, and we'll try it out. Anyhow, but I did have a series of stories that all have food in common, which means I think we need our jazzy music because,
It's time for the Connoisseur, a collection of food stories. He gets the best tables. He knows all the best places to eat. He's Connoisseur. Let's go.
Yeah. So there's a thing on TikTok called the Cereal Challenge. Yes, it's another social media challenge. This one is interesting and disgusting all at the same time.
In your butt?
Not in your butt. But here's what happens. Takes two people to do the cereal challenge. Okay. So the first person lies on the floor with their mouth facing the ceiling.
Oh, I saw this movie.
They then open their mouth as wide as possible. The second participant pours cereal into their horizontal friend's mouth, followed by milk. And then all you have to do is make sure that it's in there long enough for the second person to take their spoon and dig in and have a mouthful. And apparently it's very hard to do. It is hard for you as a human being to open your mouth.
Dan, that means we've got some free ink for
And have
you to
liquid.
win Tattoos Day. So if you're interested in a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, just text the word tattoo to 39333 and we'll get a winner by the end of the program.
Did you get the email of one of our tattoo winners who did a Gene Simmons chicken?
No. Is that real?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I need to see that.
I'll dig that up. I thought you guys all got it.
No, I've got to see that. That's brilliant. That's as show-centric as you can possibly get. And it pays tribute to two great things, Gene Simmons and chicken.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't get better than that.
All right. This next segment might not work. Who knows? We're going to see if it does or not. We have talked about this in the past, about bringing in some items to show and tell about.
Preston?
Yes?
They said the same thing about the X1.
And look what happened. It broke the sound barrier.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, the Preston and Steve Show is bringing you Show and Tell. Thought I'd throw in a little bit of Rush this morning.
teacher, Preston, we'd like to see you.
Oh my God! Yes,
and your show and tell what you have for us today.
I remember sitting there with a big brown paper grocery bag.
Oh yeah,
with whatever it was that I brought in, and we would all sit on the floor. And like Steve, the teacher would call you up, and it was your turn, and it was so exciting because you would have seen a couple of people go by then, and you know that yours is way better than theirs.
And you'd have and you could bring in things like a new cool toy that you had. Like, look at this, what this does.
Yeah, totally.
I could be the a-hole kid who criticizes what the other kids brought.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Because I didn't bring anything.
Totally.
And then, but everyone starts to pass out because you brought some stuff that you baked into the.
I poisoned them.
So I had I only remember one show and tell ever that I participated in, and it's because on my way home from school one time I found a gardener snake. And so I captured it and I put it in a Folgers can, and then I brought it into school the next day for my show and tell, and then the gardener snake somehow magically got away, and my mom let him go. She did not care for having a snake in our house.
By the way, check on that. Is it gardener snake or garter snake?
Garter.
I was pretty sure it's garter.
Garter snake, like in a wedding when you put the snake on the girl's thigh.
Yeah, and then it crawls around. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
That's cool.
And so people would be.
What was that? Did I said it the wrong way?
No,
Garter.
Yeah.
Garter snake.
The snake that you are talking about has a gray mustache.
Yeah, you said a gardener snake.
A Jim Gardner
Okay,
snake.
so what I brought, speaking of show and tell back in the day and when the kids would be there, is what I've mentioned before. I brought this to my third grade show and tell and recently found it.
Wow.
And hopefully...
This is a good one already.
I haven't brought this in for you before, and it just just shows exactly what a different time it was, because, ladies and gentlemen, I brought to my third grade show and tell a World War II bayonet.
Oh my God.
A bayonet.
You actually brought that into school?
I did.
A weapon.
A weapon.
weapon.
This is a knife. It's probably a good 10 inches long.
Good Lord.
And this was a bayonet that I bought in an Army surplus store.
If you brought that today, the school would be surrounded and the SWAT team would be
I'd be
entering.
expelled.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably be expelled.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yes.
But I told you there was another. So this is, I don't have any history on this knife. Other than it was clearly sharpened quite a bit because it's got a section in the middle that's curved.
Yes.
Unless it was made that way, I don't really know. But it certainly seems well used. And this was definitely for a rifle because you can see where it would slide onto the barrel right here. And there's a button that you would push that would lock it. You could unlock it and it's got a wooden handle with these kind of cross stitches in it. And there is a mark on it, but I've never researched it.
Do we know which army it was used for?
I don't know anything about this other than I saw a big freaking knife and I wanted to buy it.
So my dad...
And this is when you could, as a kid, you could walk into a store and buy a big-ass knife like this. I was in like third grade and I bought it.
We had a German, I believe it was actually a Hitler Youth knife that somebody had given my dad while he was actively fighting the war, and brought it back. Oh, wow. Yes, Preston, that stuff was around the house. And as I said earlier, I brought a Civil War sword into show and tell. But remember, we had a bayonet as well. I was fascinated with the concept of the bayonet. So it'd be cool to kind of find out the history of that.
Yeah, it does have a mark on it. And I guess I could. It looks like a letter N or an M. I can't quite tell, with a crown over it.
That means Neumann. So it was an enemy weapon.
Do you remember the year you bought it?
Let's see. Third grade. It would have been 1978. Somewhere around
How
then.
cool were stores like that to go to surplus? And Preston,
77.
They would sell dummy grenades.
Oh my God!
Yep.
They would sell.
Well, I told you another item I brought for show and tell, and I've told this before. It was a Vietnam War era incendiary bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was literally a bomb casing.
Yeah.
It was about 2.5 feet long. It was orange. Had a fin on it. Had the front. Had an arming pin and everything on it. And I had looked it up. It was incendiary, so it was for creating fires, is what it would do. It wouldn't explode, but it would just spread fire all over the place. And it would be for torching villages, I don't know, whatever, burning babies, what they do. I don't know. But
bad babies, like German babies.
German babies.
Well, yeah.
The worst.
The Viet Cong, who were fighting at the time.
Yeah.
But I brought that in. You could bring that in without any concern. And listen, I think it's insane that we were able to do that stuff back then.
Yes.
and there's reasons why you can't do it now. But I found that stuff fascinating. Me and my friend Bubba at the time was his name.
Yeah.
We were way into Steve, like playing war.
Oh my God, that's what we did all the time, and with the full size GI Joes, and when you could get your hands on equipment like this, Preston. When I brought the full Civil War sword it was a cavalry sword too. I think it was a cavalry officer brought that into school. I was proud because I had a story attached to it. We just used that sword. My pool above ground pool was frozen, and I ran the sword about 50 times into the frozen pool liner.
Oh man,
my dad loved that.
So it was a Civil War era sword.
Yep.
What did you guys ever do? Those things are worth a ridiculous amount of money.
I guarantee you, it walked. My dad, when my mother passed away and we moved. My dad held the most crazy garage sale.
Wow.
Like things I had just bought ended up in the garage sale. I'm like, where is? I sold it. It's like, Dad, this is where you can't run a garage sale.
Yeah. So I don't have much to tell other than that I took it to show and tell as a kid, and that's just insane.
It's a beauty.
This thing was allowed in there.
So would you want to find the history on it? Like, would you want to figure out?
I've had it for a long, long time.
You know, it's not something you probably take to Antiques Roadshow. There's probably not a lot of inherent value to it, but I bet there's a story behind it. And like, so you could talk to a military expert or some weapons expert, and I bet they could track down like the rifle that it was used for, the era that it was used, that kind of thing.
Probably. It's pretty beat up, but yeah.
Still. I mean, I can't believe that they sold it to you. You didn't have a parent with you? I can't remember if you said that.
I don't remember.
No, you could walk in, honestly, Case. There's a surplus store in Northport, Long Island.
Yeah.
You could walk in. I remember. And walk out.
I'd buy cigarettes for my mom.
I know.
You know, I mean,
but if I came home with a knife like that, you know, A, if they sold it to me, and then B, if I came home with it, my parents would be like, no.
Casey, I had a machete as well.
I couldn't even have nunchucks. I wasn't even allowed to have nunchucks.
We lived in a place, this is when I lived in South Carolina when I had this, and there were woods all over the place around us, so I needed a machete.
Yeah.
I had to get around in the woods, you know, so it was crazy. I had a motorcycle, I had a shotgun, it was ridiculous.
I remember buying flying stars from, all sorts of crazy weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So somebody messaged on the YouTube stream that you should never clean that blade. It's worth more with the patina on it.
Oh,
I've never heard that before.
That's the new thing in collecting, and I was telling Preston about this. And with automobiles, Nick, you don't restore them.
No kidding.
You let them if you can find them and let them be their original. With a little bit of rust, a dent, all that makes it worth more these days.
Casey, do you see that? There's like small bits of dirt and mud on there. That was from me as a kid, you know, jamming it into the ground or whatever.
It's Hitler's blood on the edge.
Maybe that's what that is. That's what all right, so that's what I have for show and tell. Thank you, Kathy. Do you approve?
I mean, I'm not into weapons.
Okay, all right.
But it's okay. It's good enough.
All right, let's get another show and tell.
Hey, wait a second. Can I send Kathy down to the cafeteria to get the pints of milk for snack? The class would like to hear from Casey.
But Nick has 3 different things. So if
I know.
you wanted to, you could do like Nick and then me and then back to Nick.
Why don't you let him be the teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Who went to school for teaching?
Okay, well, then you guys got to hang on a second.
All right.
So I got to get ready here.
Oh, all right. I didn't realize he's actually preparing something. He's got goggles on.
Yeah, I got goggles.
He's got an arc welder.
Oh.
He's pulling something out. I can't tell if he's reaching into his briefcase or backpack or
Kid has a briefcase?
lunchbox or.
Okay. Hang on a second.
What do you might?
Do we need to skip you?
No. We're good to go. All right. Turn that music off there.
Okay. Oh,
Lights,
wait.
please.
Oh, lights.
Wait, we're bringing the lights down?
What's happening?
Turn the lights down. Turn the lights off.
Oh, my God.
Well, this is
All right,
exciting.
here we go, baby.
What's this all about?
All right, here we go, baby.
Oh, it's got music.
He's dancing.
Oh, look at his shoes.
Oh, wait, I can't see.
He's got light up shoes.
Oh,
Those are great. What do they call those?
light up shoes. Oh my God, they're silver and they have like LED lights around the soles of both shoes.
And those aren't like, what were the ones that you got when you were a kid that had just like the back of them would light up?
Yeah, like
these
you
are
would
much
step.
better.
No, these are like on all the time. There's probably an on-off button right on the inside of the shoe.
And they change colors and they go all the way around the sole of the shoe, like all the way around. Casey, I love those.
I love it too.
You have to wear those a lot more often.
I know.
Like
I
the
know.
Sixers games and stuff.
So when did you get those?
Last week.
That's still show and tell.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did you get it for show and tell?
No.
What war is that from?
This is the Civil War. This is the end of the Civil War. This is what caused the end of the Civil War.
It was too easy to shoot people in the dark.
Casey, sit back on your chair. Kick your feet up so we can see those. If you can. Look at that. Wow.
And
dude,
do you like
I love those.
Do you hit the button and they'll change colors or they'll flash?
He was just cycling through the different things he can do. How, if I may ask, Case, how much for something like that?
$37.99.
That's nothing.
Up.
I sent Marissa
Straight from China.
The link. Yes. I mean on the box.
Yeah.
Made in China.
Made in China.
China, Texas, though.
Next week, they'll be dead.
They'll be dead, yeah.
But this is worth $37 for that.
Totally.
So, thank you, Instagram. You know me so well. Instagram showed me these things, and I was like, okay, let me go to, because the ones that caught my eye were American flag ones.
Oh, I like those for your birthdays, the 4th of July.
But they didn't have them in my size.
So how about the Chinese flag?
No, I didn't. They didn't have a Chinese flag either. When I went to the site, they had these ones, obviously like super shiny silver, but they had like goldish ones, and I was like, well, I got to get the silver ones because silver goes with more.
Well,
than
let me
gold.
tell you something. These are excellent. Yeah. Those are excellent. Preston, that's...
I love them. Is it okay if I get a pair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why I'm showing
you
it.
guys can walk around at night along the boardwalk?
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so I sent Marissa the link. She can share that if you want.
What kind of battery does it take?
Oh, so it charges. So here's
okay.
You have to run really fast.
Yeah, you gotta run really fast. Runs
They're
on kinetic energy. No, so it runs like this. It's got a battery on the inside.
You run that right to your pacemaker?
Run right to the pacemaker, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's excellent.
Casey, do you mind if I ask how much they cost?
$35.
$37.99.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
$38. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One other question.
Yeah.
Can you strut around the room one more time?
Hell yeah. I got
with the music.
Is our camera picking these up? I hope so, man. Because that is the best, dude.
They're awesome. They're really awesome.
Thank you. Dude, we should all get them. We should have show light up shoes.
I agree.
I will get them.
agree.
I'll
I
gladly
like it.
get them.
And then, Kathy, you could teach us a little short dance routine.
Oh, man.
All right, here's the deal, though.
Whatever our next live event is, we have to do
We
that.
have to order the shoes at the same time so they all fail at the same time.
So they all work at least for a week.
Yeah, because within a week, they'll be dead.
Garbage.
By the way, this is my second pair of light up shoes.
Well, you know what? I think because Jace has a pair. He wore them like twice, and then he was like,
Like the
"Meh."
regular Blinkies?
No. He has what Casey has, and I feel like you told me. You sent me the link, and that's why I ordered them.
Okay, wait. of these, like this style,
not like metallic like that.
The
but
other ones that I have they're a cloth white shoe, and the whole shoe lights up with these LED lights.
Okay,
and they're really really cool.
How much are those?
Probably the same. Those might have been like 50, but even.
Do you remember the gloves you could get where the fingertips would all light up? That's what that sounds like.
So I mean, listen, the whole battery and LED technology is just taking fashion to a whole new
Absolutely.
Our fashionista.
The high fashion.
All right, I brought something very old. Casey brought something brand new.
Nick has a troika.
And we are playing show and tell.
All right, Nick. Show the class what you have.
Or the lights going off.
Can you dance?
Or has been used in a pitch battle during a war.
Very little dancing, but I do have three things. Two of them are related and from my childhood. The third is something that I've referenced on the show many times, and so I'll start with that.
How is it?
It's my 1984 Topps traded.
Oh my God!
Doc Gooden autographed rookie baseball card.
Wow.
And
was this the Hampton Inn?
This was the George Washington Motor Lodge right off of 202. There's a Home Depot there now. Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry were there signing autographs. It was $8 a pop to get their autographs.
And how much is it worth now?
At least $4. I don't know. I bet you if I could find a Mets fan who was willing to buy it, I could probably sell it. But at the time, I bought it. I bought it from Classic Collectibles in the Gateway Shopping Center, and it cost me $30 to buy, and then I paid $8 more for the autograph.
Well, and at this point, you have to keep it. I mean, it's part of
what
you're
it's part of the
known for
legend.
here.
It is mint condition.
So you have Darryl Strawberry, and do you have Doc Gooden as well?
Well, this is the Doc Gooden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is the Doc Gooden, and by the way, on the front of it says Dwight Gooden, and on the back it says Dwight Gooden, but he signed it Doc Gooden. So
that might make it more worthwhile.
Yeah,
he signed it with his nickname.
Topps put out a few different collections every year.
Yeah.
So they would put out like their normal baseball card set, and then they would put out like rookies sets or traded collections or limited or whatever. This was a Topps traded, which made it a little bit more rare and a little bit more collectible.
Why is it not worth much? Did Doc just fizzle out as a baseball player?
That had part to do with it, but in large part, it's just the glut of baseball cards that came out in the 80s and the early 90s. There was this. It was
like cash.
Well, it was kind of like Bitcoin at the time or whatever. I mean, people spent so much money. There was an investment dollar figure attached to it. But I don't know if these things were ever worth that, but people were willing to pay for that. So that's what they cost at the time. So, it's my very classic 1984 Doc Gooden signed baseball card.
Right.
And I knew this was going to happen. When I saw Nick's stuff, because when we originally talked about this, I had something, and when we said we were going to do it, I couldn't remember. I remember what.
You remember what it is?
I remember what it is.
All right, well, we'll do this again.
All right.
Yeah, if we do it again, I know what it is.
I just thought of something now. I thought of something that I have to fix it, but I'll bring it in.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Nick, what else do you have?
So the other two are interrelated, and I don't know if you guys ever had this book, but I got this when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. It's called My Book About Me.
Oh my God, I have that.
Okay, so Casey, you and I are the same age.
Yeah.
And it's a Dr. Seuss book. It's Dr. Seuss and Roy McKee, and basically they ask you 150 questions about yourself, and you fill them in as a 5 or 6 year old.
See, my book was, I think I got ripped off. My book is my book about Nick McElwain.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. You didn't even know him.
I didn't even know him then.
But
That's great.
I was, you could do some drawings. So here's a drawing of a sun.
So cute.
And
a
then
hamburger.
A guy. No, Preston. That's not a hamburger.
Hang on. Let me see if I can guess what that is.
Airplane?
No.
I think it's
Bus.
the ocean.
No.
Wait, look.
It's a guy with a lot of eyes and noses.
Okay.
Wait, how do you remember that?
Because I remember going over this with my mom at one point, and she,
Okay.
it was a
Nick
big
doesn't
deal.
have many childhood memories.
Yeah.
He just recalls one or two.
I had to write them down. First of all, there's one thing you should know. Am I a boy or am I a girl? Well, I'll tell you. I am a ... boy.
Yay!
I weigh 60 pounds. How tall am I? 4 feet.
How giant is my head?
I counted my teeth. I have 13 up top. I have 11 downstairs. You draw your hand, so it's little things like that.
Is that book still available? I think that's an adorable concept because I want to fill it out.
That's my hair color. See, I drew it. I had a little bit blonder hair when I was a young boy. And so that's blonde with a little bit of brunette there.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I think
You were
5 or
doing the ombre look before it became popular.
I think it was 5 or 6, but there are some pop culture references on here.
Okay.
Like including my favorite song, Where in the World I Would Like to Live. Here's my address.
What's your
growing up.
favorite song?
Where'd you say, where would you like to live? Both of them. Answer both questions.
Let's see. Where would I like to live? I got to go back to that one.
All right.
Somewhere in Hawaii, the beach.
I live in the United States. I circled the United States, and then I played tic-tac-toe on that page. Okay. And then England apparently made the list.
And then
What song? I want to hear. I want to hear your favorite song. Oh no! Oh my God!
Wow. All the way back then. I know you
On Amazon for $10.
That's adorable.
It is 60 steps from my tree to the mailbox. My favorite color back at the time was red. Apparently, I owned 170 buttons.
Wow.
You would go around and get autographs from people in your life. So
like
I have,
Doc Gooden.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what started it. My Aunt Ann signed it. My Uncle Michael signed it. Our mailman, Ralph K. Lapp, signed
Your
it. Your
mailman.
Yeah. I got a policeman's autograph. I got an autograph of a man with a beard.
Don't you think that's amazing for a kid to do that? To basically be interviewed, but to talk about, to be able to express what they're experiencing. It's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I'm glad that I found it. I don't know if it was in my mom's house or in my house when I moved or whatever, but I like to collect leaves, rocks, food. There you go, food, cans, and autographs.
So this is okay. What else do you, Nick? What else do you have for the class?
Well, all right. So I was trying
If
to
you're
find
just
that.
tuning in, this is a show and tell. On
Well,
the
you do the
Preston
next
Steve
item.
Show.
Give me, and I'll look through it and see if I can find anything.
And if I were to get a birthday present that year, and I know that I didn't get it, but what I wanted was more than anything in the world, a BMX bike.
Wow,
that's a good one.
One of the questions: what kind of woman are you attracted to?
That's a good one.
And then this is just something that was. We can go over it if you want, but it's an autobiography that I wrote of myself in 6th grade. So I used sort of that as inspiration or whatever.
A Nick in Time.
The title of it is
great title.
Wow.
A Nick in Time, yeah. And I believe I had to write the title page, Casey, had to appear in perfect cursive.
Wow.
So that's where I did that. So these guys were stored next to each other.
Read a little bit of that if you would, please.
All right.
I'd like to hear
the dedication.
Some of it.
Okay.
Call me Ishmael.
Chapter 1. Although I've only been alive for 11 years and 11 months, I think I've had an interesting life so far. I know that I've been lucky to do many things and go many places and have had opportunities that other children have not had.
You wrote this?
Yeah. Wow. I am thankful for the good. I had a ghostwriter.
Yeah. Okay.
I am thankful for these good things and also for being a part of a strong, loving family. Well, that's nice. My family background is rather unusual. My mother is Irish and Italian. Her mother's parents, my maternal great-grandparents, were born in Ireland and came to America in the early 1920s. I knew both of my great-grandparents, Martha and James Kelly, and I got to spend quite a bit of time with them when I was a baby before they died.
It's very good writing.
Really well written.
Do you mention the raisins and the meatballs, which I'm a fan of?
I don't, but here's an interesting fact. I think I may have mentioned this on the air at one point. This is about my mom, Kelly. She did whatever jobs she could, waitressing, house cleaning, caring for other children, and she got a job as a cashier for the Acme supermarket near her home in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. She made $17.50 a week with the Acme and raised 4 daughters.
Wow.
Her second daughter, Martha, was my mother's mother. She died of cancer when she was 47 before I was born. I'm sorry I never knew her. I think we really would have liked each other.
Is she Nick? Is she the aunt that said cassette?
That was my dad's mom.
Oh, okay.
Had the cassette player, yeah. So there's also all sorts of different chapters in here.
That you have that is so freaking wonderful.
Here's a picture of me when I was 5 months old. I'll hold it for the camera. But Casey, you mentioned the big head.
Oh my God. Oh, I thought that was a jack-o'-lantern.
And look at how tiny you have written quite a bit of text in this book.
Oh, is that
Nick.
typed?
Oh, it's typed. Okay, I couldn't tell from here.
So,
well, this is written, but the portion of the autobiography is typed.
And your mom held on to this?
Yeah.
See, I think if my mom had been around, I think she would have had a story.
I've kept a lot of stuff like that my kids
I think moms are probably.
Oh my God! Here's my dog from 1986, Tugger.
Tugger
as a puppy, and then
it's a picture, right? He's not in there.
Yeah, and then here's. Oh my God! He's
oh my God! Oh my God!
And here's me, my mom, and my 2 brothers at Disney World in the spring of 1985 with another dog, Pluto.
Hey, Nick, has your son, has Ben seen this?
He's not.
Oh.
No, I think we'll share it this weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to go through that. I want to look at Tugger.
Because I told you, my dad, he spoke into a digital recorder for about 4 or 5 hours in different segments.
That's cool.
And gave me a chronicle of our early lives and everything, and I'm going through it right now.
Wow. That's really cool, Nick.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
well
awesome.
done.
Hey.
All right.
And then third?
Well, I think
We don't have
that
time?
was his third thing.
Oh, that was your third?
Yeah, Doc Gooden, the Book of Me, and the
May I say,
autobiography.
all you guys had good stuff.
And by the way, Nick, a number of people are texting in saying that your Doc Gooden card is worth about $445.
I'll sell it to you right now.
Sold.
I don't know if you guys knew that I'm an artist. This is a bird.
With a penis.
Now, I think
That's a tail.
That's
Oh.
that's a tail.
that's
It
a
says
red
tail,
penis
but it does look like
swallow.
a penis.
That's the Dr. Seuss bird. That's the bird I drew.
Nice job, Nick McElwain. Thank you. It's show and tell, and I think we have time for Marissa.
Marissa, what do you have for the class?
She just ran out of her office.
Yeah.
So she didn't know she was going to be doing it.
Yeah, she was telling me out before we started the segment. She had one just in case we didn't have enough, or we had too much time.
She's filling out one of those Dr. Seuss books right now?
Well, she wasn't sure if this segment didn't go anywhere and we had extra time, we could put her in. But
She's got a big package.
We got just enough to do another one, and then we got a break because we have some guests coming up in a moment. All right, Marissa.
Is that what is that, a canned ham?
Oh, my God.
She just dumped something heavily on the counter.
I mentioned this before, and you guys kind of lit up. And it lives in my house, and I get to see it every day, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Oh. Whoa. It is an old-time adding machine.
Oh, wow.
Or the calculator, if you will, but it's a type that you would find in, like, a store.
And you pull the lever down when
the clerk would print up your receipt.
Or at Magnata and Sons office in South Philadelphia, because this was my grandmother's adding machine where she kept the books.
Let's hear some noise from that. Let's hear it. Crank it. There you go.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. When my grandparents had one, it was a little bit bigger than that. And as a kid, I played with it all the time. I loved it.
You're fascinated. Preston, we used to have the old, Underwood typewriters. I mean, the real old, the kind of stuff Tom Hanks collects. And you're fascinated by them as a kid.
Wait, so are these bells?
Yeah, no, that should be where the printer ribbon is.
Oh, maybe that's why it doesn't print anymore.
Well,
there's a ribbon that goes between those. There's two reels.
Technically, Preston, it's an adding machine / Sibian.
It's about that size.
So there's still like there's still addition, or there's still numbers on it from the last thing my grandmother typed. Because my grandmother never stopped working, so my dad or my grandfather probably just handed her a calculator and she just swapped it out. Was like, all right, I'm done with these numbers, and boom, on to the next thing.
Was it an accounting firm? What was it?
It was a HVAC plumbing company.
Oh, okay.
So they were right there on Snyder Avenue, and my grandmother was in the office and kept the books.
See, I want something like. Oh, okay, I have another idea then. Okay, you guys are good. Kathy, do you have any ideas now? You said you do.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple more things, so I'll be ready for another show.
I think you guys all killed it.
This says it's a Burroughs portable adding machine.
Look at how portable it is. Only weighs 112 pounds.
And
God!
This is the type of thing that if you were at a general store or something like that, because my grandparents owned a general store, and that's what they would use to ring up the receipts.
And Preston, you put this in like an antique store out, in any remote area, and a little extra dust on it, you could sell it for a lot of money.
Yeah, totally.
I bet you could, right? I mean, these things, people love these things.
Yeah, I was in a store just this weekend, and they had things like this all over decorating
How
the
much?
store.
I'm sorry.
No, it was a clothing store, and this was just filling out the shelves.
So is that out as decoration in your house?
It
Or you
is.
Just, yeah.
It's in
Marissa's got, I'm sorry to interrupt, she's got some cool antiques. You have antique cameras, radios? Or have you started doing radios yet?
I'd love to get an
I
antique
have
radio.
a radio that's my boyfriend's grandfather. So all the cameras you'll see in a Zoom call or when I did my TV show, they were in the background. Those are all my grandparents.
They're kind of like the ones that you look down at, you look down into they're really cool.
So it's everything from my grandparents, the old ones, like the Polaroid ones, to the ones my dad used in the 60s and the 70s.
A Browning camera, like the
one like that from my grandfather, and then a Nikon from my parents and things like that. And then I have photos that I realized later that were developed on that and are printed and hanging on my wall from those cameras.
Cool.
Wow. Oh, excellent. Well done,
That's
Marissa.
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Show and tell.
First ever Preston and Steve show and tell. And Marissa's adding machine. That's really cool. All right, so now we've given some ideas to Steve
now
and
we have
Kathy.
ideas. Yes.
And next time I think we'll have a full class participation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I sent you guys the link for my shoes. You guys might want to get them now before everybody gets them.
I know. All right, well, thank you guys. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. When we return, Mr. Alex Lifeson of Rush, talking about his new band, Envy of None. His fellow bandmate, Andy Kern, will be joining us as well. We'll be back in a moment. Don't forget it's Tattoos Day as well. You want a Preston and Steve tattoo? Text the word tattoo to 39333. It's from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street. We'll be back in a few.
Preston and Steve.
You have liquid and substance in your mouth. And then
This
you eat out
video
of it.
we're watching is dripping out of her mouth and into her ears.
Yes.
I'd rather do the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
So you tell me you guys want to try this. You want to send somebody down to Joe's to get cereal and milk?
We can try it.
Marissa just brought the cereal in. Do we have milk? We could use water. But who's going to do it?
You know what?
That's gross.
No.
Oh, what do you mean? I'll do it.
You know what? How about piss?
We have cream. Casey, I'll eat it out of your mouth if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Really?
You guys are so
Okay.
gross.
Sure.
All right.
I wouldn't even do that.
No?
No?
Oh, come on. What's going to happen? Is there germs in there?
Oh, man.
You know what? So we're seeing a video. I wouldn't do it because it's almond milk in this one.
Oh, yeah, that's just gross.
Do we have any milk?
Yeah, we got cream.
Okay.
I mean, we could.
Let's do it.
Do we have a tarp? Let's put it down and do
Yeah,
it.
we got it. I think I have some.
Yeah, Casey's got something we can lie down so Bill won't freak out if we
have
get
some
our
of those-
disgusting carpet a little dirty.
Let's just keep getting it dirty so they replace
They'll
it.
replace it.
That's phase 3, apparently, where we're going to get.
Okay, yeah. Casey's got.
All right.
He's got a little.
Nick,
trash
you
maker.
ready?
Yeah.
Where do we want to do this so we can get good
On
video?
the roof.
All right. So Casey is. He's putting on his makeshift poncho.
I'm worried about choking. Does anybody here know the Heimlich?
I do. I've done it before successfully.
I know of it.
Yeah, Case, I'll take care of you.
I'll get you.
Thanks, Captain.
So he's now. I can't see. Hang on.
All right, come on around, Preston. You can get on my mic if you
I got. No, it's okay. Oh man.
All right.
Here, you want to use mine?
Come on.
Well, I need my
I'll just
headphones
be
too.
screaming in disgust. So.
All right, over here,
All right, I'll
Casey is
come
now
over.
down on the floor. His head is on sort of a makeshift tarp. He has his shoulders covered. Nick, are you supposed to do it from a standing position or?
Well, that's why I wanted him up on the counter.
I don't think it matters.
No, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So Casey's got his mouth open. Nick is pouring the cereal, the Cheerios, by the way.
All right.
In his mouth. That's a lot of Cheerios.
There's one in his nose.
That's too much. There is one in his nose. He just shot him all over the. You okay? Oh, you're doing that for fun.
That was
okay.
just the excess he shot out.
Open your mouth.
for milk.
Here comes the choo-choo train. Wait a minute.
This is one of the stupidest.
All right, just a little bit. But Nick, that's too much.
Sorry.
He's trying to get some of that out.
I've never done this before.
I understand. All right, so here comes the cream.
Open your mouth.
All right, now get ready, Casey, because this is if you're going to choke, this is when it's going to happen. You need more in there. All right, Nick's he's doing it. Yeah. More milk. More milk. He's eating it, and
It's in Casey's eye.
it's in his eye.
It's really good.
All right, Case, nice job. You did it.
Oh, gross.
I'm impressed.
I'm doing good.
You done very good. You held everything intact.
Wow, and now they're going to hug it out, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Now
That's
finger
sweet.
it out.
Wow, okay. Well, there you go. We did it.
I hadn't had any breakfast.
I love Cheerios, by the way.
Yeah, it was good.
I just prefer a regular breakfast bowl.
It says here, yes, some people wear protective clothes when they do it. It's pretty likely that milk will get everywhere no matter what. He didn't put much milk in there, though.
But I was good either way. I mean, you totally could have loaded up.
I was more afraid of choking you with the milk than I was with the Cheerios.
What about the spoon? How deep did you go?
To the tongue?
Yeah.
Back of the teeth?
Ew.
Well,
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
Somebody's saying just to piss Bill off, we should do it with soup sometime. No. I have a variety of stories, and I would do the connoisseur. I have like 3 food-related things,
But there's not enough to fuel it,
but
right?
that's it.
And you don't want to be dishonest with the
No,
listeners.
I don't want to do that, and I don't want to, I don't want to just flip things all of a sudden. But I did see this, and I thought it was interesting. Cheetos has given a name to the cheesy residue left on your fingers when you eat the Cheetos. So they have a name for it now.
And it is?
Cheetle.
Cheetle?
Like Don Cheadle.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, the official term is called Cheetle.
I'd call it Chisholm. Right, Preston?
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, what's that on your face?
Chisholm. From eating cheese doodles. I'm sorry, I misheard you.
To celebrate the newly coined...
Peter North is the spokesman. Just sitting here watching TV.
Unrelated sound to anything from Pearl Jam that I've ever heard before.
I agree. I knew it was going to be different. I found that very surprising.
We shall discuss in just a moment. First thing Casey said to me before I listened to it, he goes, "It's Talking Heads." He said, "It sounds like Talking Heads," and you nailed it, Case.
Yeah.
Spot on with that, because there are parts in there where he sounds a lot like David Byrne, and they're using a lot of synth elements in this particular song, which of course the Talking Heads did a lot of.
And he says, "This is not my beautiful Pearl Jam."
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Some people were texting in saying they hear a Chili Peppers vibe in there as well. And a lot of negative comments on the text message. Let me give you my first impression on that. And I'm not a one-listen guy. I've said that many, many, many times, that it takes a lot of listens for me to warm up to a song. Casey and I listened to about the first minute and a half of it in the Q speakers here in the studio earlier this morning. I thought it was terrible. I didn't care for it. By the last 30 seconds here of that, I think I like it. So that's how quickly it turned around. I'm not a big fan of Eddie Vedder's voice in general, meaning the vibrato that he does. It's very choppy. But I think it fits well with the grunge, heavy, distorted guitar thing, and it kind of slides in there well. that's why I didn't like the beginning of it, because you can really hear his singing. But by the end of it, the melody kind of got me. I've always been a sucker for synth pop. It's interesting that Pearl Jam's going that route. You can hear Matt Cameron is clearly using electronic sounds in his drum kit. There's a keyboard thing going on there as well. Who would be playing that, Nick? Is Eddie going to be playing keys?
I don't know.
I mean, they got 2 guitar players, so somebody could step up and play that.
Eddie can play piano, but it's probably the producer, I would think. He does some growling in this video or in this song too. I heard like kind of angry Eddie, which I haven't heard in a long time.
Right.
So there's the vibrato stuff, which you don't care for, but then this is like some rock. Yeah, like that. He's pretending to be a dog.
Casey, play the. Yeah. Let me play it again.
Yeah,
let me see.
Isolated.
Let me see if I can. Hang on a second. It's like just a couple seconds in. Hang on. Listen. Now I heard
You
it.
heard it that time? Yeah. It's subtle.
Steve, that fit perfectly.
That was so good.
Rhythmically, that was perfect.
I'm a master on the growl.
Oh my God! One more time. You.
I missed it. You cue me.
Here we go. Wait. 1, 2, 3, and there it is.
You sure you want to do this, Ed? It's an expression of the animals in the world suffering from the glaciers.
Casey had a poster and a wristband from a fish show that was important to him. And
it was a fishing tournament, right?
Yeah.
Or the band?
Well, both.
Okay.
The wristband was from the tournament, and then the poster was from the concert.
Regardless, both very important to you.
No, but the reality is they were both from a concert.
Right. So much so that he wanted to have them framed and, immortalized for at least a period of time while he's on this earth, and took it to a place that was going to frame all this for him. So you have the wristband, you have the poster. I'm sure you had a frame picked out and matted and everything the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
Goes back to the shop to retrieve it, and they've lost the wristband.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So the
right?
poster is done, and you wanted the wristband in the same display.
It was like a ribbon across the bottom corner of the poster.
And you'd set it up that way.
Yeah.
What was their explanation?
There is no explanation. Inside, I'm fuming. I have been to 60-plus Fish concerts. I have never purchased a poster, went and had it framed, or So this. And
so you want to climb over the counter and kill them?
So and the wristband I had like really carefully taken off of my wrist, so there were no because it was like it was like a cloth wristband, right?
Carefully preserved.
Carefully preserved. This was. I was going to give it as a gift to a friend.
Oh, no.
And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, I think I want this for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm like fuming. So I had gone from this place.
Right.
I didn't blow up, but I had gone to this place and I went to a drive-through, a quarter of a mile down the road. And I got my money back, and I'm pulling out, and I noticed that one of the quarters is a Canadian quarter. I stopped my car. I put it in park. I went into the store. Now, I didn't raise a stink.
25 cents.
For 25 cents, I go, you guys gave me a Canadian quarter here. And they're like, oh, okay.
Let me ask you something. What country are we in? Do we have provinces like, I don't know, Ottawa? What is this?
Yeah.
Is this legal tender?
I in my life have never returned a foreign coin before. I've never even considered that.
What did I order? Poutine? What did I come in here on a moose? What am I, a Mountie? Where the hell are we?
Does it say Tim Hortons outside of this establishment?
Come on, for Christ's sake! What am I, Trudeau?
Did I drive here 35 kilometers per hour?
Jesus Christ!
Again, I didn't make a big stink about it, but I go, hey, this is a Canadian quarter.
I couldn't help but notice that there was a ridged potato chip in my bag of regular potato chips.
Oh my God!
Parlez-vous English?
I would be raging. You're better than me. I would be raging out of control at those people. And
why not give me the right change? Eh? Eh?
It's Shirley Bassey's birthday today.
Bingo!
Yeah. Love her.
Pretty girl, beware of his heart of gold. His heart is cold. He loves only gold. He loves only gold. Only gold. Only gold. He loves gold. He loves gold.
It's the only reason I bring the birthday up every year. That, and actually, we had mentioned that she was on the Oscars, and they had her come out and sing that song, and her voice was outstanding.
Hasn't lost a bit.
She's 83 years old. She's still a gorgeous woman, too, at 83.
She also sang the other Bond song for the movie Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay. Diamonds are forever. I don't know how it goes.
Sparkling round my little finger, unlike men, the diamonds linger.
Wow.
Men are mere mortals who are not worth going to your grave for.
So she's 83 today.
We have that as well.
Oh, wow.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need
to please me. They can stimulate and tease me.
They won't leave in the night. I've no fear
that they might desert me.
Nice.
I could have done those parts. I could have sung those songs.
Easily. All right, and then we have Rachel Nichols, who is in...
Rachel Nichols, jingling in your pockets.
Nichols. I noticed a piece of audio that I never notice audio, but I noticed.
Notice who never notices audio, but on his birthday, he notices audio.
Rent is going to be live on Fox on Sunday night.
I love these shows.
Yeah.
I love them all. There was one or two that I thought were substandard. I think the Rocky Horror Picture Show was not really worth a damn.
Yeah.
But I loved Grease.
Grease was great.
Still have it on my DVR.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this, to Rent.
The music in the show is so good. My wife and I went to see it without knowing anything about it other than this is the show to go see.
Right.
And we were just like sitting there with our jaws on the floor just because the performances were so great.
Do you guys want to try it? River Valley Vocal Band? Do you guys want to try it?
I think it's something we should set as a goal. We've already did Afternoon Delight.
I think we should do it right now.
yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
Do you have the lyrics? I don't know the I mean, I don't know the
On the monitor, if you will.
All right,
This is a
we really don't. This is morning voice. You got to understand our concerts are always at night.
This is a very rare performance of the River Valley Vocal Band. Those of you here in our studio, what a treat.
This was like when Sonny Bono and Cher sang on the Letterman Show impromptu.
All right, Kathy, you're the bass, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think I can handle that.
No.
Oh my God, we're harmonizing.
That was crazy.
All right, that's it. We did it.
One more time. Oh my God.
That's it. Go on
Walk away.
from there.
We're done.
Walk away.
We can't do any better.
We're not
But
gonna
we're
say.
going to. Let's do it.
We are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
525,000.
One more time. Wait,
You're
you're
trying to harmonize? God. It's supposed to be in unison.
All right, let's do it. Ready?
We got 6 syllables in.
I almost fell out of the
Hey,
chair.
we aced 5.
Started strong.
One more time.
First
Try one more
syllable.
2,
Really good.
3, 4.
525,600
Should I go low or high?
You know what? All right,
Try high this time. Try high this time. 2, 3, 4.
525,600 men.
Nick's choking.
All right. I can't. Hang on. I need to drink water.
It's on Memoir's concert cash that's taking place. Next opportunity, less than an hour from now. We'll do it at 10 a.m., and it's real simple. You've probably been through the drill before because we've done this type of thing many times, given away lots and lots of money over the years.
I love this.
We're going to include concert tickets along with it this time. So at 10, we'll give you a keyword, and then we'll tell you how to enter that. You'll have until 15 minutes after the hour. And if you were able to do that, then you will be in the running. And you might win $500 and a pair of MMRBQ tickets, which we'll draw randomly, and then we'll get in touch with you and let you know if you win. If you enter the right way, you might win $10,000.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
I know. It's through the MMR app or through at WMMR.com as well. So we're kind of killing a little bit of time until our guests are ready to go for an interview.
I just got a text message from my wife. Just we were killing a little bit of time. She has already quit the day. Kathy, spills are terrible, right? But like, what happens when you spill an entire thing of a cleaning product? So she spilled laundry detergent.
Dude, that's
like how cleaning up laundry detergent is like that is virtually impossible because it's that thick gel sort of liquidy crap.
You need can you use a wet vac and then clean it after you get
Can
the
you
majority
move?
of it up?
I think it might be easier to move, but what also sucks is it spilled into the closet in there as well. That is rather unfortunate, and I'm just letting her know publicly that my heart goes out to you.
Okay, thank you.
Because you're not there to help.
Casey's wife and her time of tragedy.
Diane, I think he said leave it. He'll do it when he gets home.
All right. I believe our guests are ready to go. Here's the deal. They can't hear them in the other room, so they're letting me to just know that I'm going to bring this little, as Pierre would call it, gadget up.
Right.
And then we should be able to hear them. But I'm going to play a little clip of the music because Alex Lifeson from the band Rush has a new group, and they are called Envy of None. And it's along with Andy Kern, who we're going to speak to as well, and a lovely singer named Maya.
Really good.
I'm going to play a little bit of this for you because it sounds nothing like what you would expect from Alex Lifeson. So. Vibe to it.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, and while I'm sitting here playing with my Alex Lifeson dolls, did you guys see them?
I do. You got all your figures, right? All your Rush figures.
1970s Alex and 1980s Alex and Funko Pop Alex.
I didn't see you playing with your Alex Lifeson dolls again.
No, yes, sir. No, I didn't see you doing that again. Please welcome Alex Lifeson and Andy Kern this morning. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Philadelphia.
Hey, yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. We can't see you. I don't know if you could see me and Alex with my dolls.
Yes, I see them with your zigzag shirt as well.
There we go.
Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. Hey, well, listen, thank you guys. Very nice to meet you, Andy, Alex. I've, we go way back. I've met you at meet and greets before. You remember everybody. But no, I'm happy, Alex, that you got a new thing going on musically. This is a really cool project, and I'm curious how this came together between you and Maya and the whole group, and ended up, creating this music.
Well, Andy and I've known each other for a very long time. We were label mates. After Andy was finished with Coney Hatch, he went to work our office, and so he was out with us for the 15 years, I guess, that he was there quite often. And after the last Rush tour in 2015, Andy approached me, the following year, I guess, and just asked if I would play on some stuff that he'd been working on. So we very casually started to develop this writing relationship. He met Maya along the road, and when I heard her voice, I thought, oh my God, this project can really go somewhere. So we went from being sort of a casual few songs project to being a full album, and really concentrating on the writing over the last year and recording. We never worked together in the same room. It's all been by sharing files, and it's been such an amazing experience, really, really rewarding, certainly for me. I get to play guitar in ways I never expected I could.
Yeah,
so that was a real treat.
I was reading an interview with you, Alex, and talking about how you are very proud that this is such a departure in sound. But the funny thing is that, rock or in general, or music like this in general, you know, in the days of old AM radio, you know, you just hear, at least in the United States, you get like all sorts of different things, and you could experience different things, and to add other things to the menu, like this sound, which is a sound that I really like. Preston was sort of invoking some of the bands you mentioned earlier, Preston. We were talking about Mazzy Star and
like this moody female-led groups that have this. This kind of darker but cool hip tone to them, you know?
Yeah. So was it by design, or as you started to record, did you realize with Maya that this was going to be the tone?
Well, there was something about her voice that really contrasted the music that we were developing. It seemed like her voice, being as fragile and delicate as it is, worked on top of whatever we did, whether it was sort of had an industrial bent to it, or country and western, or pop,
right,
or anything. Maya's voice just felt so uniquely connected to the music, and her lyrics are great. I think Andy and I just were really inspired by the direction that it was going to right off the bat, right, Randy? Andy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think, it was interesting, guys, because no matter what landscape we created musically, Maya's voice just seemed to be the icing on the cake, and it was very, very evocative and, as you said, moody. And there were times we had some discussions with her where she was like, I think I got to press the gas pedal a little bit more and dig in. And we were like, no, just be yourself. Let us be nasty around you, But we were all impressed. We just thought her grasp of melodies and harmonies, and as Alex said, her lyric writing at a very young age. When we met her, she was 21. By the time we finished, she was the ripe old age of 24 or 25. So,
and you guys have a few more miles logged than she does. And Andy, how did she get on your radar? Did you see her out at a show, or did she seek you out?
Well, you guys will appreciate this being in radio. I was asked to be a judge for an online radio contest, and Maya ended up being one of the finalists. And part of the prize was she was going to get some money for recording and some gear and stuff. And then they said, and you can have a mentoring call with a music industry expert. And I've never considered myself an expert, but I said, that's a pretty crappy prize, but I'll do it. Anyway, it was during that call. She was asking for some advice, and then without even breaking stride, she said, I looked you up on the internet, Andy. Would you be interested in, what about if we co-wrote together? And that was the beginning of it all. There was a song on the record called Shadow, and I started working on the seeds of that idea with her, and eventually sent it to Alex and said, Alex, what do you think about this? I think we found somebody pretty special, and would you be interested in playing on it? And that was the beginning of Envy of None.
So Andy and Alex, we'll go with Andy first. What do you give me the absolute plus of recording this the way you did in sort of a disjointed fashion, and the absolute prime negative of this scenario?
Well, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. For me, I love working like this. I love working on my own independently, where I can experiment, I can try things, I can take my time, I can delete stuff I don't like. It's great to have people in the room, and it's great to be part of that vibe and the enthusiasm, but invariably everybody throws ideas at you. It can be just a little too much information when you're trying to focus on something,
right?
Because things take a while to do right. So for me, working in my room by myself was just perfect. And then we would share the files, and we would build the song like a pyramid. And once we got to the apex, and we felt the song was complete, then we moved on to the next one.
I had a chance to track the whole album, and I found out something really cool that I didn't know until afterwards. And there's a lot of great songs in there. I really like Cabo Blues, but one stood out, and it was an instrumental called Western Sunset. And I just thought it was a really pretty departure from the rest of the overall sound of the record. And then I was reading this morning, and Alex, you can tell me if what the truth to this is or not, but it was an homage to my idol, your brother, Neil Peart. And is that indeed the case? And if so, how did that song come about?
Well, I was working on that song, and I was visiting with Neil, as we did quite often through that period of time. And Neil had a little balcony, like a patio on on the second floor off his office, and we would go up there and sit, and he'd smoke cigarettes, and we'd watch the sunset. And it just struck me that that moment was very calm, serene, and peaceful, despite this very heavy burden that we were all feeling at the time. And the sun, as it set, filtered through the trees as we were sitting up there, and it struck me that the day ends and it's that day's over, and that day will not come again. But the sun comes up again the next day, and it just that closure of the sunset and what it represented to me at that moment felt like just the right kind of thing. And I wanted to create something that was evocative of that moment, that had that same peaceful feeling of serenity that we were sharing at the time.
I think it's so cool that a musician is able to go, I want to capture audibly what a sunset means, that can invoke a visual picture. Now, we do it with words, theater of the mind is what we do. But when you can do that with tones, it's pretty impressive. And were you able to nail it heading right out? Like, I know what key I want to go in. I know what notes I want to get to. Can you create things like that? Do you know a picture sonically in someone's mind?
Yeah, for me, and I think it's from my history with Rush, Rush was a very cinematic band as well. I think the stuff that we created, we saw it as we wrote it. And I don't know if I have that ability or why I have it, but I seem to have it. And when I think of music, I think of colors and I think of patterns. I think of a palette. And it might be trite to say that because a lot of musicians feel that way, but that's exactly the way I picture music. And I want it to have that kind of response, a very cinematic response.
Nice.
And that one took some time. I worked on that song for about 5 years to develop it the way I wanted it. And Andy helped me a lot with that, redoing the bass part in a very sensitive way. So, yeah, I think those things take time to develop.
Well, go ahead, Andy.
And Preston, I was just going to say, Preston, there's a really interesting part of this that plays into your question, especially. I grew up with Rush too, and a huge fan of the band, but serendipitously, and I didn't know it when Alex had sent me the idea, but on one of the last tours, Geddy Lee gave me a Fender fretless Jaco Pastores jazz bass as a present. And a thank you, and it's one of my favorite prized possessions. And so when Alex sent Western Sunset over, I thought, man, I'm gonna play this, not knowing where the inspiration came from. So I look at it now, fast forward, and knowing that he composed that song with Neil in mind, and that I ended up playing a bass that Geddy gave me. It just tied it all together. It's
what
so
synergy.
cool.
Yeah,
that is very cool. You talk about also what you see in both of you, in your mind. We all experience. I tend to think of the presentation of the music on stage. How does this present on stage? So Envy of None, to me, seems, and I think both of you said it at various points, that this is proper lighting, not arena, but a theater. So is that something that we will see a sort of kind of here and there sort of tour for Envy of None? Is that in the works?
We keep saying we would have to wait until the album comes out and see what the response is like and what the demand is like to put something together. I, for one, am not really interested in going on the road. I spent 41 years on the road, and honestly, that was quite enough. And I think Andy feels similarly. But I'm sure Maya would love to get out there. She's young and she's very visual, and I'll definitely buy a ticket to sit in that audience to watch that show. I think this music presented in a small theater could be so dramatic and have such power to it. If we do something, we'll create something, and I would say that Andy and I would maybe do some shows together with whatever band that's created to take this on the road, and that would be fun. But I don't know if I would be up for a major tour.
Right,
certainly.
Right. Listen, I want to commend your years on the road. Obviously, you guys worked hard for a long, long time in Rush. I had a chance to meet you on a few occasions at meet and greets, and you guys had it down to a science. It was so wonderfully well done where we would come up, meet, get a picture, have a chance to say a couple of words. And I made a horrible mistake. I tried to say something witty to you, Alex. And I was just like, right after it left my mouth, I was like, oh, you idiot.
I haven't been the same since.
That's how bad it was.
I learned from that point on, just say, thank you for the music. Thank you. It's nice. And then move along and stop trying to stand out. But listen, you're a professional. You handled it really well, and you appeased me. So I appreciate that. And I've even had... I've had a chance recently, and I want a testament to people who are fans of you and your music and the great lengths that Rush fans, and we'll see if maybe Envy of None fans do. Someone recently got me some of the beer that you guys had, the first batch. I know there's another one, Moving Pictures, but I got a letter, Alex, from this guy who got it in Canada. He then took it. It went through like 8 different hands before it got to me, crossing the border and all this stuff just to get it to me because you can't get it here in the States. And you guys, so I read it on the air.
It's easier to smuggle heroin than it was.
I was blown away, and that comes from the love of your band. So I'm sure that they're, while this is a completely different thing and has a completely different sound to it, we'll at least embrace and check out what you have done. What are you expecting to hear back from Rush fans about Envy of None?
I don't know. It's early still. I haven't really heard too much. I've read some of the reviews, and they've all been very, very positive. And the interesting thing is that, they talk about the differences and that it's not an extension of Rush, and it's not some sort of unfulfilled desire I had to continue what I'd done. So that's very promising to me because I really spent a lot of time trying to not be that kind of guitar player. The songs are not Rush songs. And, no matter what you do, you can't make them a song that Geddy and Neil and I would have written. So it's something completely different. And it's a really wonderful expression of where I'm at as a musician at this point in my life.
How about feedback from Geddy? And also to back up on that, when after Alex, if you give us any reactions that he's had, I'm curious, Andy, what he has to say about your bass playing.
Well, Preston, Geddy and I have been friends since we were 13 years old. We're best friends. We shared the experience of Rush, but we share a lot of life experiences. We were together just a couple nights ago with a really great dinner, and catching up on what the last couple of weeks have been. Never mind the last couple of years. So we're always seeing each other. We're always part of each other's lives. Look, he's working on his book. I worked on this record. We do stuff, and we share our interests. He updates me on how the book is going. I let him know about how Envy of None was going. He asked me about it the other night. We support each other because we're friends, and we respect what we see in each other's life path. And if our paths cross again at some point musically in the future, fantastic. And if they don't, well, fantastic. We'll always love each other and be great friends. So,
Alex,
and
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, guys, certainly a bit of an albatross looming above the project, knowing that Alex's partner was Geddy Lee, and so I was very cautious. Listen, I don't have those type of bass chops. I can muck around at home and lift stuff, and I did lift many Rush songs as a teenager growing up, but as Alex said, this is a bit of a different thing. Maybe the song Look Inside might be the closest to a Rush type bass line, but I certainly was conscious of it and wasn't going to dare try to go head to head with Mr. Geddy Lee in the bass department. That was not even a thought process, and nor would I have tried. I would have failed miserably.
I wouldn't think that you would, but that's cool that you had that in your head, and I was curious about that because of what a force he's been in the world of music. So that's cool to hear. I like that. By the way, Marissa got me our producer got me the beer. By the way, it went from Toronto to Ontario to Michigan to Ohio to Harrisburg to Langhorne, and eventually landed here at our studio in Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania. So it was a bit of a
smuggling ring.
Yeah, totally.
Alex.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Well, listen, guys, congratulations on this album. It is out officially on Friday. There is pre-order available at envyofnone.com. Andy, it's great to meet you. Alex, I am thrilled that you are creating more music. I'm so happy as a fan to be able to experience what you have to give to the world. So thank you on behalf of me and all Rush fans.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks for spending the time with us this morning.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you guys, and have a good one.
Good luck with everything. And if you come to Philadelphia, we will see you. Thank you, guys. Army of None, Alex Lifeson, and Andy Curran. That is so cool.
Very nice.
God.
That's good. It's super nice. By the way, Alex, you pointed his sense of humor. At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, he was hilarious.
He is. They eventually got to a point in their career, like you said, they're a very cinematic band. Not only sonically giving you a picture in your head, but they would do these stage shows that would involve a lot of obviously lights and effects. But they would have a big video screen behind them, and they would eventually, later on in their career, they started making these little movies that would play, and Alex would play these outrageous, over-the-top characters that were just hilarious. And if you've ever seen he and Getty, like you said, they're best friends. They've been friends since they were 13, and they still talk like they're hanging out in high school and goofing off, and it's just they make each other laugh.
It's wild.
And he loves making Getty laugh. It's so damn funny. So that was incredibly cool. Yeah. I'm so happy. Yay. All right. Well, anyhow, Casey, give me the wrap up. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We're trying to stay on time for our MMR concert cash, which will be at 10 o'clock. Your next chance to win $500 and the concert tickets as well to the MMRBQ. So let's break, come back. We'll do the bizarre file and get to all that in a bit. Stay with us.
Have some water. Let us know when you're ready.
I think maybe we should just get to the How About Love part, guys. What do you say?
All right. That's the toughest part.
How does that go? I don't.
How about
love?
All right, you got that?
I got it.
All right.
All right.
No
This time I'll only count to three.
Okay.
Because it leads
On
into
3
the
or
rest.
after 3?
I say 1, 2, 3. How about?
Okay.
Ready? All right. Oh, that was bad.
All right, everybody get the sillies out.
Okay.
Seriously. Guys, this is about AIDS, all right?
All right. Let's try. 1, 2, 3. How about love?
Wait, no.
What? You just said get the sillies out.
I choked on my own spit, though. Maybe I shouldn't have drank water.
I get it. You find AIDS funny.
We should have stopped it.
Should we call Justin?
Oh, God.
How much are you drinking over there?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much. Just enough to clear out all the phlegm.
A man died performing Rent today.
All right, here we go.
Casey's crying.
We're going to do How
Look
About
at him.
Love.
It's so emotional.
Okay.
This song.
All right, count us down again,
All right,
Preston.
1, 2, 3. How about love? How about love?
We got one in.
How about love?
Measuring
love. Seasons of love.
Okay, we got it.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. That was a success for sure.
I'll tell you what.
Sunday at, I forgot what time, 7, I think.
Our 5 was perfect.
Why even tune in? You just heard the whole thing right
Our harmony before that was pretty solid, I think. Don't call Justin. Are you calling Justin now? I see the hotline.
I texted him.
Oh, no.
He's calling us.
I don't want to sing anymore.
He will.
I don't want to talk to him.
There was an
There's
alarm
a guy
that went
who can
off.
sing with such ability. Yeah, he's like Batman. Whenever there's horrific singing, there's a musical note that starts flashing.
Everybody's agreeing on the text message. The beginning was good. Yeah.
Somebody said, "Let's move on."
Yes. All right, let's move on. Okay. I noticed other things.
this is the hottest Christmas toys for 2019. I found the article on CNET, and it's a long list, so I'll just go over like some of the big ones.
Yeah, hit some highlights.
Okay, the Spin Master Wild loves Juno, my baby elephant. I had no idea what this was. It's an interactive toy for like little kids, like ages 3.
Wow.
It's $70.
$70.
But apparently, this is like a hot toy that the babies want.
You know, obviously, I think what probably one of the most lucrative jobs in the toy industry is coming up with these incredibly long names for these toys.
I know, yeah.
I played with G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Dr. Spindoculus.
Yeah.
Floating platform of goodness.
Micronauts are what I played with when I was a kid. These are these little,
Aren't kids
toy,
supposed to
these
be
little action figure things.
Oh, say, because this is sort of a responsive little pachyderm.
Yep, that's exactly
pretty
what
cute.
It is. Yeah,
It actually is cute.
Okay.
But
and
Kathy,
I want it.
Kids, babies don't know what they want. I mean, even if they're 3 years old.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I guess I didn't mean what they want, but they're going to love it if you get this. It's one of the things that moves in.
If they know what's good for them.
If they know what's good for them, the little brats.
Dude, okay.
Okay.
It is
that
cute,
looks
isn't it?
really phallic, though, with the trunk thing.
Yeah, well, so you can use it. Adults can use it for other things.
All right, I'm moving on. Paw Patrol is also big again this year.
Mommy, I want my toy
that
back.
was the best gift ever.
You tried so hard.
It's so hard.
And the
Best part is I'm never gonna forget. Just like elephants.
And then there was we already did another pre-screening, like Marissa hosted that, right?
She hosted it last night at the AMC Fashion District.
It was last night, and then Casey hosted a screening last week
at the same exact place
for the movie Free Guy.
Yeah.
And while we were on vacation, we got a text from Casey out of nowhere explaining that things didn't go quite the way he wanted them.
So if it's possible to suffer a concussion without actually hitting your head, that's what I think you experienced, Casey.
Yeah. And so I don't want to. I'm hoping.
I'll find the text.
Okay,
I'll read it.
I'm hoping that I didn't lead you guys down in the wrong direction of where you think this story is going to go.
No, we don't know anything. We know that, but it was so heartfelt, the text you sent out, that we knew it had to, because there have been similar situations in all our lives. But this one seemed like, wow, this really had to be a little bit more.
Yes. So I have the text here.
Okay,
it
go
says,
ahead.
"Oh my God, I'm at the screening for Free Guy." And by the way, I sent you this text. I'm still there. I have not hosted the screening yet. Okay, I'm still there. I have already embarrassed myself, and I needed to go somewhere and be by myself, decompress for a second, and then I had to admit to somebody what an ass I am, and just to sort of make myself feel a little bit better. And guess what? It didn't help. I still felt terrible. And I said, so they asked me to hype up the crowd and then introduce one of the stars of the movie. So this guy named Joe Keery, who plays Steve from Stranger Things, is in the movie Free Guy.
Yeah.
He was there to introduce the film, and I was there essentially to introduce him.
Right.
So I had come back I was on vacation in Wildwood. I had come back just to do this. I thought it was a really cool experience.
Real quick, had you met him at this point, or is he still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
By the way, he seems like he's awesome. I love that character, Steve from Stranger Things. He seems like I've seen him interviewed before. He seems like a cool guy.
He was a great guy.
Okay.
And I will say that, categorically, he was a great guy, and the movie is hilarious. It's a great movie. And the movie had been on the shelf for a year.
Yes.
They wanted a theatrical release, and so they were like, we're just going to wait.
Only theater.
And only theater. So, and then I wrote, I just had a classic embarrassing moment. It's a classic shut the F up, Casey, and walk away kind of a moment. I'm pretty embarrassed, but it's also a really funny story. So,
and you said you weren't sure if it was going to translate on the air.
I'm not sure if it's going to translate on air.
Okay.
So,
well, let's hear it.
Well, deliver it in the original Farsi.
Right.
All right, so here's the deal. This movie was at the Fashion District, the old Galleria, the AMC there. It had never been there. By the way, what they've done to the place, the whole Galleria, the Fashion District, is awesome. It's really, really nice. So I get there. Joe had gotten there earlier than planned.
From the movie company.
But I had also gotten there an hour early, so I decided to walk around a little bit.
Right.
Side story, but it also is part of the story. I went to a place called Wetzel's Pretzels. Have you guys ever heard of Wetzel's Pretzels?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Philadelphia Pretzel Factory, and I love Annie Ann's.
Yeah.
Wetzel's Pretzels is like the best pretzel I have ever had in my entire life. I couldn't, and I was so happy with myself for going, you know what? I've never had a Wetzel's pretzel. Let me stop by and try one, right? Hey, me. And this thing was amazing.
And you were really proud of yourself.
And I was really proud of and I couldn't believe how it was big.
Oh, is this hand shocked?
Yes. It was amazing. And I'm sitting there, I'm eating this thing, and I'm going, I think I need to open my franchise. I'm like, this is like I have just discovered gold for the first time. That was like amazing. So I get done eating the pretzel, and Hannah from Allied Advertising she's my handler, and she says, "Hey, Joe's here. I can bring you back to meet him." I'm like, okay. I decide to use Wetzel's Pretzels as an icebreaker. Okay.
Well, you were completely enamored of Wetzel's Pretzels. It would be ridiculous not to.
Okay. I've been sober almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I go into this place like I had just done 7 rails of coke. Okay.
You're hyped up.
I'm hyped up. Okay. And let me also preface this by saying I'm fairly aware of who I am as a person and what I am as a person. And sometimes I have, how do you say, no chill.
You have moments.
Yes. No,
I had these moments. But listen,
that's a valid criticism of yourself.
Right.
But as we've told you throughout the years, to put a tap on that would be throwing out the baby with the bathwater, because that same energy delivers so much greatness to what we do
on the radio.
On the radio.
Okay.
In person.
On the radio.
With a stranger,
yes,
might be different.
So
yes. Like someone who's never met you, who's in a new town promoting a movie.
And there are 3 people in this room that have never met me. And so, as the great Ted Lasso once said, know thyself, rest in peace, Socrates. I did not realize as I was going off the rails what was going on here. So I'm brought into this room. I go off on Wetzel's Pretzels. As it turns out, all 3 people in the room have heard of Wetzel's Pretzels before.
Oh, good.
And yes. So it
was relatable.
It was relatable, and we had this in common.
You picked the perfect icebreaker.
All right. So I meet Joe. Joe's a great guy. And then I meet 2 of his handlers. One of them, the female, was from Disney, right?
Yeah.
So she was his handler from the movie company. Hannah, who had brought me in and introduced me, has now left this room. We're in like this office, and I just go off the rails. That's all. Like, I was just being nice. I was being a nice guy, and I just didn't shut up for like 5 minutes straight. And
that's sometimes your Caseyism. Like, you don't know when to end it.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Well, so I had 2 or 3 different times talked myself into a corner.
Well, let me jump in here also. Throughout the years, and it used to be the thing where I had asked, if you realized this story was not going anywhere, and then an asteroid hit the Earth.
Yes.
I asked you to say, and then an asteroid hit the Earth, and we all died.
Right. So there were a couple of, and listen, this is Steve from Stranger Things, and and prior to this, I thought maybe I was going to have to do a Q&A with him, so I did a little bit of research about him, and so I knew a little bit more about this gentleman. And as it turns out, I wasn't doing a Q&A. I was just introducing him, and that's fine. Yeah. So. Hannah's not there. I know, like, I have to leave. I have to get out of here. Like, I am, I'm
in a pretzel loop.
I have overstayed my welcome. I have moved on from pretzels. I don't even know what I don't know what the bridge from pretzels to Van Wilder was. But now I'm at Van Wilder, and because Ryan Reynolds is in Van Wilder.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So, and I'm relaying the story.
Another icebreaker.
I had a really great interaction and encounter with Ryan Reynolds at the Van Wilder screening and press junket in Panama City, and I'm relaying this story. And then I just hear a knock at the door. And I'm like, okay, let me answer the door. It's Hannah from Allied Advertising. So I open the door. She goes,
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we'll begin with this one. An absolute nightmare of a story. The nation's first winning $10 million Powerball double-played ticket sold in Maryland went unclaimed earlier this week after a full year of waiting for the winner to come forward. Oh, my God. On the night of September 27th, 2021, a lottery player in Maryland made history when they bought a Powerball ticket with the double play option. and won the very first $10 million top prize from the add-on features extra drawing. 6 months later, actually it wasn't a year, 6 months later, on Monday, this past Monday, the ticket expired and the prize money went unclaimed.
Shouldn't they give it to the second closest number?
Right? Yeah. One off.
Right.
Ought to get it.
Wait, and it's only 6 months, you said?
That's what this says. 6 months later. Yeah, because it was September 27th.
I thought you did have a year.
Yeah, I thought so too, but apparently this particular one, this
they're getting smart now. It'll soon be a half hour.
Maybe it has to do with the double play. I don't really know, Kath. Yeah. So lottery winners in Maryland have 182 days from the draw date to claim their winning ticket before it expires.
That sucks.
Since no one claimed the $10 million top prize by 4 p.m. this past Monday, the money went back to the state.
$10 million.
The Maryland Lottery put out a reminder in February that the ticket would expire in a month, so they did what they can.
All right.
The only thing the lottery heard back was crickets. And while winning tickets do expire from time to time, it's rare for a large prize like this one to go unclaimed.
Is it only to the residents of Maryland, or is it whoever?
I'm not really sure.
Because they should have gone door to door.
It says, as per state law, the $10 million prize will go back to the lottery's prize fund, which will contribute to future lottery prizes. I will sometimes if I hear there was no big winner,
right.
I'm in no hurry to go check my ticket. And also, you always know where it happened. It wasn't anywhere near
Give you the
and
location.
and I forget about getting it, checked, and I will let it lapse a little bit from time to time, but I never let it go that long. The pilots on a Delta Airlines flight from Salt Lake City to Washington, D.C. decided to bring their jet down in Denver over the weekend after the cockpit windshield shattered above 30,000 feet. The crew repeatedly told passengers to remain calm until they landed. So I saw a picture of it afterwards, and it's
shattered?
It's spiderwebbed.
Really?
It's like complete. I don't know how they could even see out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, we're so going to die. We're going to crash very soon. I want to die. I'm screaming. I can't take it. Please kill me now.
Rachel Wright, one of the 198 passengers, said they came on the loudspeaker saying that the windshield had shattered and that we were diverting to Denver in about 10 minutes.
Didn't they start by easing them into it with the Rolling Stones song?
Shattered. Yeah, this just starts playing over the intercom. What is that? Why are they playing this?
Shattered our windshield. Have a good flight.
Yeah. A photo of the windshield taken by a passenger shows the glass, though lined with cracks, didn't fall from its frame. Commercial airline pilot
shattered.
Said. And saying for everyone to stay calm, to be calm, and that we were calm. So being told to stay calm while we were calm made us feel a little panicky, she said. Passengers were able to see the shattered glass once they landed.
By the way, if our flight staff could bring the 2 remaining parachutes to the cockpit.
Passengers boarded a new plane in Denver and continued on to Washington. And Wright, the passenger, praised Delta for bringing the jet down safely and said that the airline was very accommodating. So baked beans, filled shoes, and spaghetti splattered the walls. Clothes were ruined, and the cords of kitchen appliances were cut. Alicia Moy, who is 20 years old, came home to the dreadful scene after calling it off with Jordan Cobold, 21 years old, following just a few weeks together. She said, "This is my first home, and Jordan completely violated it. Thanks to him, I suffer with trust issues now. I despise him." She had just moved into her very first apartment. This is in England, in Suffolk, in January of last year. She was single and had been using Tinder on and off for a while. Said, "I wasn't looking for a long-term relationship, but until Jordan, I'd never met up with any of my matches and really just used Tinder to chat with old school friends." She said, but I wanted to meet Jordan in person. After they had been dating for a couple of weeks, he suggested that he take a spare key to her apartment.
No.
Soon after this, she realized their relationship was going nowhere. She said things turned weird. He'd be watching a movie, and he would just burst into tears for no reason. I'd ask him the problem, and he would ignore me. And then when we got together, he started saying stuff like, "This is the stage of the relationship when everything starts going wrong."
It always goes wrong at this part.
And we'd only been seeing each other
What is
is it about you Brits?
A matter of weeks. It was so confusing. I couldn't understand why he was being so intense and needy.
You're a crazy bird.
Alicia eventually messaged him to call it off, and he blocked her. She went to work the next day and returned home. Returned home. She said she knew something was wrong when she walked in. She said, open my living room door and burst into tears at the sight in front of me. He had pulled my shoes out of the cloakroom and poured beans and spaghetti inside of them.
Oh, my God.
There were condiments splattered all over the walls and cooking sauce poured all over my vacuum cleaner. When she reached the kitchen, she found that the cords of her brand new appliances had been cut. The freezer had been turned off and cooking oil poured all over the place.
Sounds like a kid throwing a tantrum.
Mm-hmm. She called her mom in tears after finding her makeup destroyed.
By the way, I left an upper decker.
Shower gel in her drawers and shoes in the toilet.
In the loo.
Her mom had to call the police because she said she couldn't get words out. And while police investigated the crime, she moved to stay with a relative. And I don't know what ended up happening to the dude.
Well, but better he did what he did while she wasn't there. What if she was there?
Yep. All right, and there you go. That's it for the Bizarre File. With that, we got time to break and come back for MMR concert cash. Excellent. That's what we're going to do. We return with your opportunity to win some money and tickets, and we want you to get them, so stay right there. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
I asked you to say that an asteroid hit the Earth and we all died.
Right. So there were a couple of, and listen, this is Steve from Stranger Things, and and prior to this, I thought maybe I was going to have to do a Q&A with him, so I did a little bit of research about him, and so I knew a little bit more about this gentleman. And as it turns out, I wasn't doing a Q&A; I was just introducing him, and that's fine. Yeah. So. Hannah's not there. I know, like, I have to leave. I have to get out of here. Like, I am, I'm
in a pretzel loop.
I have overstayed my welcome. I have moved on from pretzels. I don't even know what I don't know what the bridge from pretzels to Van Wilder was. But now I'm at Van Wilder, and because Ryan Reynolds is in Van Wilder.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So, and I'm relaying the story. I had a really great interaction and encounter with Ryan Reynolds at the Van Wilder screening and press junket in Panama City, and I'm relaying this story. And then I just hear a knock at the door. And I'm like, okay, let me answer the door. It's Hannah from Allied Advertising. So I open the door, and she goes, hey, there's some people out here who want to have their picture taken with you. And I go, oh, okay, And I start walking out the door. I get halfway out the door, and I go...
You weren't talking to me, were you?
Wait, no. No.
No, what?
She was talking to me.
Okay, all right.
All right. But I kind of made a joke like, Joe, no, they want some pictures. And she goes, no, they want pictures with you, with me. I'm like, oh, okay. And I walk halfway out the door, and it dawns on me that there's nobody out there to take pictures with me.
Oh my God.
The girl from Disney essentially texted Hannah like, dude, get this guy the F out of here.
Oh no. Right? Oh no.
Right? And it dawns on me, and I step out the door.
Oh God.
And then I turn back. I go, wait a second.
Oh God.
I go, did you send her a text message to tell her to come and get me?
Oh no. Oh no.
She did. She flat out did. I go, you did. I go, it's fine. I go, I get it. I go, I'm so sorry, man. Listen, sometimes I have no chill or whatever. But I go, I know you totally did that, right? And then I shut the door and I walk away with Hannah and I go, did she send the text message? She goes, yeah, she did. I was like, oh my God. And listen, I don't care that I called her out on it. I don't.
No.
That's
if you're going to do it, you got to own it.
Yeah. I'm like, and you did. I don't know what the text to Hannah said. I don't know if it was like, hey,
get this guy.
Can you get this guy? I don't know if she was nice
Please
about it.
Please get him to talk about pretzels again.
Oh my God. But
I mean, we're closer with Hannah than them. You should really ask what I want to know what the text said.
I would, I will ask her, but she confirmed that no, there was nobody out there to take pictures with me. So now I'm standing outside of this room, and there's a step and repeat background. Nobody's there to take their picture with me, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, like.
Now you're thinking.
I was a child at this point, I was so embarrassed, and I was like so inside my own head, and I was like, this is terrible. I am so embarrassed. I almost felt like crying, and then because I was depressed, I was like I legit got depressed at who I am as a person. You know, like, and then I was like a little bit mad. I'm like, but I was being nice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a nice person, but like, God, Case, you're a 46-year-old man. You should freaking know. You have met a celebrity before. Like, stop being such an a-hole.
You were excited over pretzels.
I was excited over
that. Was the problem. You were excited over great pretzels, and
I still want to open a franchise, and it's not that expensive to open a franchise. My wife said, "No, I'm not allowed to open a Wetzel's Pretzels franchise." And I was trying to think of like, where could I open a Wetzel's Pretzels franchise? Where could I?
I thought this would have been you going, I need to go back and apologize right now, and then go back in there and then with this guy again. Yeah. We can't get rid of him here.
What was the converse? Like, what was the? There was no conversation, right? Was it just you talking and not ending?
Right. All right. So, no, I try to get people involved in said conversation. So the questions were asked, I think, I'm pretty sure.
Do you recall a real exchange, like a conversation, or did you ask them to write down their questions and submit them to you?
I don't know.
So was there any point at which...
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, there were questions asked, and you didn't breathe to let them answer.
I had another moment over the weekend, too. Where
Well, wait. Before you go to that, to this point, did you encounter them again? Did you get a chance to apologize to him, our buddy from Stranger?
I talked to the guy. Yeah. All right, so I never talked to the girl again from Disney. I talked to the guy. So I had gone into the theater after I had walked away and hung my head in shame for 10 to 15 minutes and texted you guys to try and make myself feel a little bit better. I was then asked to go into the theater to let people, because they collect your phones a lot of times before. So they had just gotten approval to let everybody have their phones back, and then I announced a surprise to hey, by the way, we have one of the stars here, so if you want to take a picture while he's in the theater, you can go get your cameras now. So I did that, and then I brought Joe on to the stage, and while Joe was addressing the crowd, I talked to the gentleman. I go, yo, man, I'm so sorry. I go, listen, sometimes I have no chill. And he was so cool. He goes, dude, he's like, you were fine. He's like, he's like, I want to hear the rest of the story. I'm like, this guy, you're
was
lying.
Was he texting while he said that?
No. I'm like, you're lying, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then
how sometimes we have these events and there's the person who's in charge of making sure that the other person's okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if the publicist did that on Joe's behalf and he didn't care at all. Like
there's a good chance that was the case.
And
like I said, I wasn't
just trying to put up a barrier and get out in front of a situation, because I've been at these things before, and I've been at them with you, and you're just friendly and you're you're totally fine. But every now and then, somebody gets weirded out.
You're speaking the truth. 9 times out of 10, it is not the celebrity who has put these restrictions on. It is the handler.
Or it could be like that scene in The Running Man where Richard Dawson, the guy who mops over his feet, and he goes, hey, you're doing a great job. And he walks in the other room. That a-hole is working here. Later on today, you're going to be mopping the floor. But is there a chance maybe we could see about getting Joe on to talk to him and just say,
hey, are we okay? I'm really sorry.
I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to interview him anyway.
I would too. I really would love to have an opportunity to press.
Well, go to the Disney rep. She was impressed.
Yeah, I know. No, here's the deal. If we were to get Joe on, he's not gonna be able to he's going to be very diplomatic in that. But
Casey, I have had more moments in my life like that where I've walked out of a room and just felt horrible about myself for whatever way I reacted or have just presented myself, and it's a common thing, I mean,
I told you guys about this.
It lives in you.
Yeah, it does.
I told you guys about this, and I'll just call it an argument that I had in a Wawa parking lot too long ago, and I felt worse about this encounter than I did about that encounter. I really did. I felt worse about myself.
And that one almost came to blows.
No, it did. Yeah. It did, and I won't go into details, but I will let everybody know that I was in the wrong to begin with. But I had a very similar experience on Saturday night at the Fish concert. I was talking to a gentleman named Dave who he was telling me about these guys that were standing behind me, and one of the guys just so happens to be a guitarist of a band that I actually just started listening to, and I was like, what?
Pretzels!
I'm like, oh my God, Corey Wall!
Pretzels! I like pretzels! Do you like pretzels?
You ever had a Wetzel's pretzel? No. So a guy's name's Corey Wong, and he's the guitarist for a band Wolfpack. And
I love Wolfpack.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do I. And I started going a little bit off the rails. And then Dave, who introduced us, he sort of had to like qualify it. Hey, this guy is the producer for the #1 morning show in Philadelphia. Yeah. And that's what he says. And I'm like, oh, man.
I did it again.
I'm doing it again. I'm like, he's totally he's saying to this guy, this dude's not just a, although I am.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, let's reel it back a little bit. But this one time when you did this, no. So I tried to reel it back.
Pretzel bread. I like bread. So listen,
I didn't feel as
you
bad about
probably
that
felt
encounter.
it was worse than it was because now you were hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
It's challenging though too, because when you're with friends, when you're with loved ones, everybody smiles and nods and it's cool. When you're with strangers or somebody you've never met before, it changes the dynamic. And you have no idea what was going through Joe Keery's head. I'm sure he's fine and probably hasn't thought about it since then.
Right. Well, and
or that's the subject of his new movie.
Now, I've also been on the receiving end of a few of these experiences, right? People listen to the show and they're huge fans. Or, like, somebody will introduce me to somebody who clearly doesn't listen to the show, and that's fine, too. And now these people have to act like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to.
Okay.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to listen. I know you don't, and it's fun. But because of that, because of my experience that I had with Joe Keery, and to anybody, if you want to come up and say hi to me at a restaurant or a Wawa or where, please do it.
Absolutely.
Because the deal is, I don't have a job if it's not for you that's listening right now. It's just, it's as simple as that. All these great luxuries that I'm able to provide for my family are a direct result of you in your car or your home or your office or whatever listening to me right now. And so, same thing for you, Joe Keery. No. Pretzels!
Wouldn't it be great if you guys open up a pretzel franchise, you and Joe Keery? You know?
I just want to own it by myself.
Local broadcasters open up a Wetzel's Pretzels with one of the stars of Stranger Things.
This is my thing. This is not Joe Keery's thing. This is my thing. And
just trying to find a bridge.
No, there is no bridge. And you know what? And so at the very end of the night, an asteroid hit, and we all
By the way, that's our buddy Zach doing the jingle for the MMR Concert Cash. I love it. All right, the word is digital. D-I-G-I-T-A-L. Dr. Mike's favorite exam. Let's see if you can enter that. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. And there are 3 ways to do it. You can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. Or if you want to be entered for the $10,000 grand prize, enter it via the MMR app or at WMMR.com. So one random entry, by the way, chosen, and will win $500 in our company-wide contest. And all MMR winners receive 2 free tickets to the MMR barbecue. Winners will get a call from our company, Beasley, so make sure that you do answer your phone. Contest rules are at WMMR.com and is sponsored by AAA Distributor. And again, the word is digital, D-I-G-I-T-A-L, so come and get it. Now, while you're doing that, we also have something else that we're going to give away in conjunction with our lesson question. We have a pair of tickets to see Brent Morin, who's going to be performing at the Punchline, Philly, April 16th. Question that I have. We did show and tell this morning.
We did.
Name one of the 3 items that Nick McElwain brought in for show and tell. Let's see if you were listening. 215-263-WMMR. Name one of the items that Nick brought in for show and tell. If you want to just describe it, that's fine too. We'll see if you can get it right. And we'll do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Natural Lawn of America. Safer for your lawn, kids, and pets. You can schedule their full service program and get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. What's up, Steve?
Well, Joe Exotic announcing he's accepted the proposal of a fellow inmate he met behind bars named John Graham. Exotic says Graham didn't want to do the cliche proposal thing by slipping a ring on his finger and instead inserted a broom handle.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Taryn Edgerton has dropped out of the production of a West End play called, and I'm going to spell the name, C-O-C-K, only a month after performances began. Producers are suggesting that Egerton might have purposely jumped from that show because there's an opening in vagina.
No.
And finally, Khloe Kardashian has responded to fans who think she has had butt implants in her latest Instagram posts. Khloe explains that her butt looks bigger because that's where the fat stores when she's hibernating. That's your Hollywood Trip.
All right, we had show and tell earlier this morning. A few of us brought in various items to describe and show to you, those who watch us on the video. And I need to see if you know one of the 3 items that Nick brought in this morning. I will go to Joe and see if we can get an answer. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, Joe, what's one of the 3 items that Nick brought in?
He brought that stupid little gay book in.
Oh, my God.
No, that is incorrect.
Totally inappropriate.
Incorrect.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know. All right, we'll go next to Brian and see if he can get it. Hey, Brian.
Hey, you guys rock.
Thank you. What did Nick bring in?
It's a book all about me.
All About Me.
Much more pleasure.
Is correct. Hang on a moment, Brian.
It's an adorable book.
We are going to set you up with a pair of tickets to see Brent Morin, Saturday, April 16th, Punchline, Philly. Tickets are on sale now for 5 shows, by the way, with Brent Morin. Thursday, April 14th through Saturday, April 16th, and punchlinephilly.com for tickets and information.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, I just have a couple of things for you, and that will be all. We'll start with this one. This was actually just handed to me. I was originally...
I don't remember.
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I thought you said there was no sponsor. All right. Our sponsor is A.D. Moyer Lumber, and trusted expert since 1939. A.D. Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. You can visit them on the web at admoyer.com. Now, initially, I was going to report on just a rumor that these bands were going to be performing together, and now I have confirmation and concert announcement to mention for MMR. Being stoked about this. This would be a great show. 2 bands, Korn and Evanescence, will be playing together, and it will be on a Saturday in the summer. Saturday. Has donated $500,000 to World Central Kitchen to help feed Ukrainian refugees. The organization was founded by Chef Jose Andres to provide meals in response to humanitarian climate and community crises. Metallica's Lars Ulrich said, the work that Chef Jose Andres and the dedicated World Central Kitchen cooks do on the front lines in humanitarian crises is nothing short of incredible. We are inspired, humbled, and beyond proud to support their teams currently in 6 European countries, serving the millions of Ukrainians who have been forced to leave their homes. WCK represents everything that Metallica and our Within My Hands Foundation stands for by providing meals with dignity and hope worldwide.
Very nice.
Metallica seeks to raise even more money for this cause, $1 million over the next 2 months to be exact. So to help meet their goal, artist Andrew Cremines has created a special T-shirt for Metallica. It's currently available via Metallica's web store. All proceeds from the sale of the shirts will benefit the World Central Kitchen's campaign. Donations are appreciated via the All Within My Hands Foundation website. And then one last thing, George Harrison's widow, Olivia Harrison, says receiving the Grammy on behalf of her husband's work is still bittersweet. Olivia and the couple's son, Danny Harrison, received as executive producers on the All Things Must Pass 50th Anniversary Edition. which won the Grammy Award on Sunday night for Best Box or Special Limited Edition Package. Olivia spoke to Grammy.com. George alluded for his life's work. She said it's always bittersweet with George. It's wonderful. This last project was locked down here at home, and we had all that we did together really at home. We had time, every little detail, all the